Floyd and he was me,
Yeah.
he wouldn't never have to fight again because that exhibition shit,
Yeah.
as me being his little brother, hey, little bro, we finna do 10 rounds and we both gonna get 100+ million for it.
Right.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well,
Right.
well, I already been getting these back, but now it's time for you to get your just.
Yo, you know the deal. We back again. We never slacking. Word 'em up. Ladies and guys, whether if you drunk or you high, it's time to pay respects to the illest man alive. If you think you got a point, he'll shrink you down to size. And from there it's downhill like a slinky or a slide. Open your eyes, got a deep connection with the rise, so you might see them jump in whenever they go live. Peep it, this channel blowing up now, it's not a secret. With tons of exclusive interviews to listen to. Them other channels I hate, but yo, they missing clues. They start narratives, sip the goose and twist the truth. It don't take a rocket scientist to get the proof. Just click the live at 4 p.m. Eastern time. But when you chime in, make sure you keep it kind. But if cowards want to debate, then it's feasting time. My man Jusdu shine busy all the time. Grind 24/7, 365. Videos he might have 365. My rhyme's sick, they make you do a 365. You get a rich if you think you fit to survive. It's Jusdueboxing, time to click the live. Ain't no beginners, if you soft, you ain't down to ride. I crush you, respect too, it's Jusdu. He got the illest boxing show on the internet. The boy been a threat and he ain't even had dinner yet. Word 'em up. Yeah. You know what time it is. "4 p.m. Eastern. Click the link.
What's good? What's good? Salute to the Just Do family, man. We back to build on this good boxing and give it his just due on this good Monday. How y'all feeling, man? You already know. You catch this on the playback. Smash the like button, sub to the channel. Make sure you turn your notifications on and come build with the fam. Shout out to the JBT family and everybody that participated in the raffle. Beautiful turnout. Congratulations to the winners, man. Hope y'all enjoy y'all gifts, man. Hope y'all enjoy y'all gifts. And again, we truly appreciate everybody that supported, man. I'm pretty sure we're going to plan to do another one. Just going to keep trying to find little small ways to give back. And like I said, man, for the people, if I took your shirt size, expect a shirt, you know. Compliments of your guy Just Do, man. But salute, shout out to the fan, man. We're going to build on this boxing, man. I didn't get to make it here this weekend and talk about this good fight that we had. I didn't get to do a post fight, so we doing it today. What better day to do it than today, right, man? What's good with it, Lonnie Lee, my guy? BN Boxing News. What's good with the family? Miss Just Do, my baby girl in the building. Real Infinite. What's good, Manuel? What's good with the fam? Cal Cool. Blessings, family. Mike Kirkland. What's good with it, bro? How y'all feeling, man? Hopefully y'all enjoyed y'all weekends, man. Y'all had a good start to y'all weeks, and hope y'all enjoyed this fight that we got, man. It was long overdue, man, long time coming, and I'm glad that we finally got it. An undisputed fight that we needed to see between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. And in terms of just competitiveness and being a good fight, we got everything we asked for. It's very cliche at this point when we say that when you hear people say there were no losers, it becomes almost like a cliche. But if it was ever a time to use that phrase, it was, this past Saturday. Yeah, somebody got defeated and somebody won, right? I know it's just a play on words. Somebody got defeated and somebody won. But in no way, shape, or form did any man walk out of the ring a loser. Get what I'm saying? I just didn't get that. They both stood on business too much for me, for anybody to be a loser, and we've been talking about this, man. It's a lot of different takes. People see it differently than me, but that's what boxing is, man. I enjoy hearing the different perspectives because it's amongst people that I respect, when we talk this boxing. So I'm not big on disagreeing with people. I just want to hear what you seen, why you picked who you picked. You get what I'm saying? I just respect the breakdown. So a lot of people had Beterbiev edging it, pulling it off. They felt like them championship rounds, really, had a big impact on the totality of the fight. And I understand it, I understand it. But we gonna build on it. I think it's a fight. Anytime you get a fight this good, it's a little controversy, but not much, because any fight that's that close, that competitive, cannot be a robbery simply because of that fact. It wasn't like somebody just was running away with it and got, robbed out of an opportunity. I personally feel like the wrong man won, but that's just me. That's not a robbery, right? It's just, you're not gonna hear me argue with nobody that said they had better beat when it's a good conversation for the people, man, to hear the different perspectives. And I always highlight this, y'all. It's 3 judges that be at the fight. They can see different things. You don't think we can all see different things? And they sitting in the same arena. You get what I'm saying? They sitting in the same spot. We all at home, whether we at on our couch, laying in bed watching it, wherever, a bar, the neighbor house, wherever. We allowed to see different things. I mean? I don't get the question in somebody's boxing knowledge because they see it differently than me. I embrace the different perspective because, I understand it, we're not always going to see it exactly the same. And that's what makes for a good conversation. Mike Mazak, Mike in the building, always a good day. Athletic Mind X, what's good with it, family? How you feeling, bro? You picked Bivol for the fight, but I think Beterbiev did enough at the end. I thought he was going to stop him, man. I think I underestimated Bivol a little bit, hoping for a draw. Yeah, it was looking like one of them fights. For sure. Mike damn sure was looking like one of them fights where it could have just went either way. But that's why I say it's no rivalry, because anytime a person says something about a draw, that's another indicator that we just got us a good, competitive, close fight. And that's these are the fights that you want to see. And again, I put some of the responsibility, or a lot of the responsibility, on boxing as a whole and the powers that be for not putting on fights like this that are true 50-50s on paper, and then they play out in the ring being 50-50. That's what we got. That's all you got. Get what I'm saying? People overreacting, rivalry. I get it, bro. I thought people pulled it off too, but I ain't about to overreact. I had a reaction to it, but I was like, man, they took it from him. I said they took it from him, not a robbery, though. No, I mean, I just can't use that word, man. The hard R, I can't use the rivalry word. It was far too competitive for that. But I seen the overreaction, and all I see is a 50-50 fight. Like, that's why I don't overreact. This is how 50-50 fights should look on paper and in the ring. And this was a true, to its core, 50-50 down the middle. I mean, everybody knew about the power that Beterbiev had, but we knew how good and how skillful of a boxer that Bivol was. So, with those two contrasting styles, that shit just made for good entertainment, and it made for somewhat of a controversial, decision to a degree. And I only say controversy because people just, they're going overboard with the rivalry talk. I don't think a rivalry is the way to, put it in perspective. I think you just got to say it was a close competitive fight, and you think that, the other guy should have got it, or maybe that 116, 112 card where, how the hell could anybody see only 4 rounds for Bivol is crazy to me. That's wild. You know what I mean? Blunt Sports was good, bro. I don't know how anybody could have did that, but I ain't about to, cry over spilled milk. I definitely thought, Bivol was going to edge it. And again, sometimes we go into these fights expecting it to look like something, and it don't. And then sometimes that impacts the outcome. But for me, I tried to watch it with a clear head. I mean, the guy that I picked to win did win, right? So it wasn't like I was, I picked Beterbiev, but I thought he was going to end up getting a stoppage. But I think I slept on Bivol just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And looked like Arthur was still somewhat bouncing back from an injury. He looked a little I don't want to say flat, but he just slightly like something just was different about the movement, not quite the bounce that he has, right? And that's normal, especially coming right up off an injury, fighting the best guy in your division, pretty much, right, outside of yourself. So you know that, but I blame boxing a little bit, y'all, for not giving us more 50-50 fights. So when we do see them, we don't overreact. Right? We be overreacting. Ah, man, robbery. Now we need to see these. This 50-50 fight need to be a regular occasion. Undisputed fights need to be a regular thing in boxing now. They need to normalize. Let's normalize 50-50 fights and seeing them on a regular basis. Let's normalize, undisputed matchups and seeing them on a regular basis when they make sense, man. Like, that's what we got. We got a great fight. Like, again, kudos to both guys because they both went in there and stood on business, man. It was a great fight, man. Beterbiev is unbelievable. Yeah, he is. He's a really really strong dude, man. And he can box, Thrill Hill was good with a big dog Willie for the 10-piece. Appreciate you putting that color in the chat early. Did you know I lost money on Bivol and Beterbiev fight? I was upset. It wasn't as bad when I lost 2,000 bet on The Rock defeat Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was my money for my birthday. Damn. Shout out to my brother, Big Dog Willie. Appreciate you.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well,
Right.
well. I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Shout out to Big Dog Willie. Appreciate the 10-piece family. Yeah, I mean, look, we all feel away when you lose and when the guy you was rooting for lose or something like that, right? But I think this is one of the fights. Even if you lost a little bit of money, you ain't tripping too bad because of how good the fight was, right? Especially if you really love the sport, you knew that the 50-50 meaning it could go either way. Like, you had to know that going into it. But I damn sure thought Bivol showed what a lot of people felt like he couldn't show. Bivol did what 20 other straight opponents was not able to do. You know what I mean? Not only take him the distance, didn't get knocked down, didn't get pummeled, didn't just get walked over, didn't get bulldozed. Like, none of that happened. Bivol made this as about as difficult a fight as it could have been for Artur Beterbiev, man. He had to figure it out. He had to box with this man. And you know what? I think it all comes down to, especially when it's the judges, even us as judges ourselves, never mind them, because I trust us before I trust them. No disrespect to the judges that do what they do, but I don't feel like we be having bias, our pre-filled out these scorecards. In this case, man, I feel like they went with what they like, man. If you like pressure, a pressure fighter, strong guy, throwing power punches and shit like that, boxing, then maybe you felt like Beterbiev edged it. If you a guy that, sometimes we treat the championship rounds like they count for more than 10-9, right? Like they count for more than 10 points. Like, he won the championship rounds. And I understand it because it leaves a lasting impression. And that's why it's always good to fight to the very end. And although Beterbiev, he had a strong closing to a degree in them championship rounds, they still only scored 10-9 because there wasn't no knockdowns and nobody got obliterated, right? So that's all I'm saying. I ain't saying don't count the rounds, but don't treat the championship rounds. And again, I know a lot of that way of thinking was like, from back in the past, the championship rounds, people treat it like it's gold, like they mean everything, right? I feel like every round is important, right? Every round is important. The first is just important as the last, you know what I mean? Because you could start a certain way, and if you don't finish that way, you could lose a fight. So it ain't always how you start, it's how you finish. So I get it. The lasting impression, it means a lot, but we gotta, this ain't back in the day. Boxing has changed, and I think it's time for us to start just treating it as such, meaning we don't gotta start looking at things like, listen, the championship rounds are always gonna be important because it's, it's 2 more rounds than what any other fight could be, right? Anything less than that 10 round is, you got them 2 extra rounds to kind of seal the deal, but they still all scored the same is all I'm saying. You don't get extra skill points. You don't get extra points for winning the rounds. I don't care which one of them you won. I don't even care if you won them all 3 in a row. Now, that's not good to allow a guy to win three, or 2 the championship rounds. It's not ideal, 10, 11, and 12, but at the same token, like I said, it only count for 10 points, just like any other round. Gertz was good with it, bro. Terrell was good with it. Judges never boxed. Yeah. Rome was good, bro. I agree. Tell you, he could see both sides. Yeah, man. Crush the legend. My guy was good with a crush. Remo in the building. He said I had the 6-6. For me, the 7th round was the difference on how you scored for me. Hey, that's fair. Dragon Assassin Official was good with it. Roja was good, bro. How you feeling? Peace to the Queen, Lisa, Melon, and Queen. A1 Hoop Zone. Shout out to everybody in the building. Jannar was good with it. Yeah, definitely no robbery at all, man. He exposed the flaws. He exploited them to a level that I felt like he was capable of doing in the beginning. You know what I mean? I felt like it. As long as he avoided that boo bop bang, you know what I'm saying? He would give himself a great chance. And as long as he was able to take that fight late and take it to the cards, I felt like he gave himself the best chance to win. I feel like overall, you know, aside from just breaking it down round by round, which was great action, it was ebbs and flows back and forth, but, you know, to a degree, because Bivol started to fight up, you know, stronger, right? I think, you know, he started strong. Beterbiev might have closed better, right? But still, it was a lot of action in the middle rounds that took place. Maybe some swings, I don't know, but I just felt like that pace looked like more of a Bivol fight to me. And I could be, you know, this is just me. That's why I say it's always a conversation. It's always what you're saying. I feel like that pace was more like suited to Bivol. And as long as it stayed that way, he would be fine. Like at no point that Beterbiev like up the tempo and, you know, Bivol was unable to keep up with him. It just wasn't like that. He always had an answer, right? You get what I'm saying? He had moments where, you know, and that's just a fight, guys getting off, but I seen him do very well. I seen him do a lot of the same things that he do in every other fight. And I left the fight feeling like it was Beterbiev that wasn't able to do what he typically do, right? At some point, he gets to wear you down, mow you down, and get you out of there. Those opportunities didn't present himself the same way in this current fight, right? And that's not the end all be all. You know, there was a lot of good action in between, a lot of, you know, close rounds. Neither guy took this fight and ran with it. You know, so like I said, it'd never be a robbery, but I did feel like slightly Bivol did pull it off, man. Feel like he boxed beautifully. He boxed beautifully. Trick Notes, what it do, fam? How you feeling? 90% people are mad Bivol lost because they bet money. What I don't understand is why the younger fighter, like the old man who just come out surgery and activity push him back. Yeah, true. Flyer frequency was good, and I guess some of that is just because he that type of fighter, strong as hell. You know what I mean? Strong as hell. Blunt Sports, shout out to you. He said thoughts on Keep Cologne. Blunt Sports, shout out to you. Appreciate.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well, right. well. I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just do.
Shout out to you, bro. It's funny that you brought that up. Big shout out to my guy, Keep Cologne. More than likely, I'll have him on again tomorrow, Blunt Sports. I mean, I'm in contact with the fan. So I was supposed to make it to the fight, but I wasn't able to make it there. But my thoughts on the fight, let me let y'all see it with me, man. Check out my boy Keith Tsunami Cologne, you know, getting it done in his second pro fight. Let's go. Jersey looking great. Shout out to Keith Tsunami Cologne and his pops Keith. Man, that's big, man. They keep on doing their thing. I love it, man. I love it. I love to see it, man. I'm mad I missed it, but it's all good. They know I'm rocking with them. I'm gonna catch the next one. He'll be right back on action. I'll let him tell y'all when he back in action. I ain't gonna announce that for him because I don't know if they put it out there yet, but I'll let him tell y'all. But he right back. Trust me, he'll be right back. And I'm rocking with him. More than likely, you know, I have him on again tomorrow. Like I said, man, interview him, ask him about how his second fight went. You know, the usual. You know what I mean? He family over this way. Mr. Empire, what it do, my guy? So I liked it, man. Shout out to Keith, man. That was a great win, man. Ant McQueen, Maul Brooks, what it do, my guy? How you feeling? Better be strong like bull. Everything. Oh, so yeah, verse Havoc, what's good with it? Back to what Trick said, Trick Notes. He said, And I get it. What you say make perfect sense. I think, you know, he could have maybe tried to push the older guy that was coming off the surgically repaired knee back a little bit more. I think some of that is just naturally Bivol's nature to not be that guy, right? That enforcer, that go and get you. But you've seen it in spots. But I think what could have secured it for him is what you're saying. That is key. Pushing him back more, really testing that knee. Because I do think, you know what I mean? I think he's healed, but I think, you know, just like anybody else, you're human, bro. So it's not all the way 100%. Nobody can convince me that no matter what he say. So I think he'd have just put some more strain on it. He'd have probably got some more results. But I think he had a very, very good plan, right? You know, the level changes, keep active jab, taking advantage of the moments where he wanted to reset. Every time he reset, Bivol was taking advantage of that. He did a lot of things well to this knockout dude. People thought he was going to do Bivol way worse, talking about getting destroyed and all that. And I just didn't see it, man. I seen Bivol walk through some fire, seen him have to weather some storms, but I seen him fight back every step of the way, man, and keep this fight within arm's reach the entire time. I seen him string a few rounds together, but I seen, like I said, Beterbiev did close the show relatively strong, but I think Bivol did an exceptional job, man. And I just don't have no argument. I ain't even mad at this decision at this point because the fight was like that. You know what I mean? It was that type of fight. Like I said, he didn't get knocked out. It wasn't boring. He was putting them combinations together. I was loving it, man. I was loving the combinations that he was putting together on Beterbiev, man. He was fighting this dude. That's what I seen. Like, when he was boxing, it stayed more of a boxing match than a fight, and it wasn't really no brawl at no points in the fight, right? They fought very tactically, and I think Beterbiev, you know, Bivol, should I say, kept Beterbiev very honest with you know, the skill set. I think he kept him, you know what I mean? He kept him thinking. You get what I'm saying? Like you seen Beterbiev had to figure it out in there as well because he was in there with a smooth operator. Bivol had a real good game plan to not get greedy, get yours, move out of the way. I hate this whole notion that he was running. Like, I don't rock with that. Like, running how? Like, what are you supposed to do? Stand in front of that dude? Like, I'm not standing in front of him. 20 for 20. You think I'm not standing in front of him, bro? You get what I'm saying? He give a whole new meaning to 2020. You get what I'm saying? We ain't talking about vision. We talking about KOs, bro. So nah, I'm not standing in front of that man. Yeah, I'm gonna box him. I'm gonna get mine. I'm gonna get up out of there at no point. And Bivol was so relaxed in that fight. I give him a lot of credit. He wasn't fighting all tense and nervous. He fought like he believed in himself. He fought like he was trying to win. He fought like a guy that wanted it. And I was impressed. You know, Beterbiev did what Beterbiev do. You know what I mean? I feel like, you know, both of them had moments where they probably was getting credit for punches that was landing on the gloves and arms. You know what I'm saying? Both of them. So, you know what I mean? It's just all depending on what you've seen in there. But I seen two guys go at it. I seen a very close fight. I think 115, 113, something like that. It makes a lot of sense. It was that kind of fight where a guy just edged it out. You know what I'm saying? And I seen a guy box very smart in spots, and I seen the moments where he had to fight. He did that well too. So that's how I assess the fight for me. I seen him be able to do both things well. He went into the fight being one of the purest boxers out here, but he left out of there doing both, showing us that he could do both in spots. He boxed when he needed to box, and when he was forced to fight, or the moments where it had to be a fight, that's the way he went about it, right? He just made it a fight, and I enjoyed it. It was fun to watch, bro. So I don't know. It's just all what you like. You get me? You know what I'm saying? Some people feel like them championship rounds was just too important for Bivol to give up. You know what I'm saying? Teddy Atlas did a video saying he lost the championship rounds. And I understand it, but just, you know, stop me when I sound crazy. They still count for 10-9. Still got to add it up the same way. Sometimes when people put such an emphasis on just 3 rounds and it made it to 12 and we got to see 12 of them, that's kind of telling me you ignoring or you not really factoring in everything else that took place. I know that was the lasting impression, but the first impression was very good because Bivol came out the gate very strong too. Arguably, people say 3 to 4 rounds straight. Look strong. You get what I'm saying? Samuel, what it do? 619 Cali Factor. What it do, family? Shout out to my brother Mike Kirkley for the 10 pieces. I used Shazam to find Bivol's walkout music. It's called Blood Type by Kino, and the translation aligned with what's sung. That said, wish me luck in battle, respect the both warriors. That's interesting. Shout out to Mike Kirkley. I would have never known that. Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate the support as always, family.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well,
Right.
well. I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Alexi, what's good? What he say? Want a bit of draw, to be honest. They gave Canelo a draw versus Golovkin one. True indeed. I think part of me felt like they want a rematch too. Part of me felt like they wanted a rematch out of this. They ain't have to take it from my boy to get no rematch. Nah, but it was a great fight. I ain't here to complain about it. NHA 2, what's good with it, family? How you feeling? Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Y'all smash that like button for your boy. We just gonna keep on rolling, man. Eric R, what it do, family? How you feeling? First, I felt like it was get back from the sour taste that Bivol left from beating Canelo. Yeah, right. Start making you wonder. I mean, look, it was damn close. And look, I just think it's a matter of what you like, right? You like the pressure. I felt like he was nullifying some of that shit. I felt like Bivol's defense was underrated in this fight. I don't think he got enough credit for his defense in this fight. I really don't. He was knocking Beterbiev head back. Like, he ain't supposed to be the puncher, y'all. I know he was going to get shaken up a time or two, but he looked like he bothered Beterbiev once or twice in that fight, too. It was a great fight, man. That was back and forth. These dudes really, really gave it everything they had on the night, and that's why I can't be mad as a fight fan, because that's what I walked away feeling. But, even a decision, you like, it is what it is, because it's that type of fight. But I think they just like the stronger guy, come forward. They like the pressure style. Sometimes it's like you get extra points just for being that pressure guy. Now, he was effective in spots. Don't get it wrong. He ain't some mindless brute coming forward like a zombie. But I just felt like Bivol movement was giving him issues, man. He forced Beterbiev to reset a lot. And when he was doing it in those moments, like I know y'all remember, and I'm just pointing out what y'all already said. I'm just highlighting it for y'all. He was taking advantage. Remember, he was stringing combinations together. He was catching them right in between, setting up and taking it, resetting and taking advantage of it. And I was like, it's smart. He fought him very smart, yo. Like, I don't know how else. The only thing I can say, like, Trick made a great point, try to push him back more. But I think the only reason he probably ain't do that, just to try to avoid giving him his best chance at stopping him, right? Getting greedy, right? Probably getting a little too comfortable in there. And I think that's what he wanted to avoid, right? Staying in that fire a little too long, like anybody else, right? Because he had some moments where he was slipping some shots. I'm like, man, Beterbiev in there firing some heavy firepower, and he was maneuvering, man. He was swimming without getting wet to a degree, man. He ain't get pounded out. He ain't get, he ain't start getting mowed down like most of Beterbiev opponents, bro. He had those moments in every fight where he start to step it up or ramp it up. He gets you. He had the moment with Marcus Brown with the split, right? You see the way he's able to push the tempo, press the pace. Beterbiev was kept honest by the skill set of and intelligence, to me, the IQ of Dmitry Bivol. He kept that man honest and not fully going all the way in like he do his typical opponent either. Because I think Bivol had something, he was giving something back that was getting some respect, bro. He got a lot of respect from Artur, man, for him not to be some puncher. I'm telling you, I loved it, man. I loved it. And I think it just wasn't punching power that kept Beterbiev honest. I think, like I said, it's the overall skill set, just the movement, right? Him moving, and like I said, Beterbiev coming back from an injury as well. So I think he was getting tested to a degree, right? He had knee in some spots, man. I just think, like you said, if he wouldn't allow himself to get pushed back as much, but you kind of expect that with him not being a puncher per se, right? So you kind of expect Beterbiev to have those moments where he's able to push his guy back. But like I said, those was reduced to moments because he typically have a lot more of those moments in his fights. And that's what I was seeing too. It's just like a Bivol type fight, a pace. I was like, yo, this dude could do this for 12 rounds easy. Dragon Assassin was good, bro.
Salute Just Do, man. Yeah, man. I thought Bivol won even after the fight. I thought it was close.
Right.
But you can't be mad at the judge's decision because, like you said, the last 3 rounds, Beterbiev picked up the pace. And
right.
Yeah, I just want to send a shout out to like Ant McQueen, Dean by Any Means, Big Supreme. They called this fight and they called it exactly how it played out. Like, salute to those guys, man. But it was a good fight overall.
Right. Definitely, man. I enjoyed it, man. Back and forth action.
Yeah.
And I just wish boxing deliver fights like this, matchups like this, and you know what I mean. And it
More
goes
often.
to show you that no matter the name they ain't the two craziest, biggest names in the sport at all. But everybody was tuned in because that was a real fight. And it just goes to show you, man, people gonna always tune in to real fights. I just need boxing to deliver fights like this on a more regular occasion so people don't overreact. When you see a 50-50 fight play out like 50-50, that's what you seen. No robbery. You know, you could debate the wrong man won. You could debate you seen some things that you like what I'm doing, but ain't nobody wrong for saying Beterbiev took it at all. You know what I mean? Ace, what's good, family? How you feeling?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you, bro. But yeah, I'm going to be sitting in the chat listening to you
know,
pop
bro.
off. But I just want to
appreciate you.
shout you out, and Ant McQueen, Big Supreme, Dean by any means.
Shout
His
out to my
boxing's
guy
good when
Ant
it's
McQueen.
salute, bro. Peace.
All right, bro. Appreciate you. The real emphasis of judging my people's face after the fight. The judges got it right. I never, for me, I mean, look, that's why I say it's always a conversation, bro. I can't tell you the real infinite how you feel about the damage done to somebody's face. To you, that might be a determining factor. To some, that might not mean much, right? For example, you know, Tank had a nice shiner or something on his cheekbone, like on his face, right? People say that's just glove burn. Like his face looked worse for wear than what it really was, right? He didn't really suffer no real damage for that to happen. So it's all depending on how you look at it. I expect him to suffer some type of damage on the face, right? It's getting punched by that dude, but that's light compared to what he do to other people, right? He usually punched these other dudes out the damn ring somewhere, right? He'd be mowing these dudes down, breaking them down, hurting them, getting them out of there. Bivol was able to weather them storms and deal with that power. He was able to, you know, do what 20 other straight people couldn't do. You know what I mean? A lot of people said he was going out there, he was getting stopped. I thought he might have got stopped, right? I was saying it, but he showed me, man. He showed me something. He showed me why I was debating so much back and forth in my head about my pick. I think anybody that went back and forth all the way up into the fight, I see why. They showed us why. You know what I'm saying? It just was that type of fight. It was fun to watch, man. Fun to watch. But I know a lot of people felt some different ways, so that's why I dropped the link, man. Where my guy Dean at? I know he wanted to build on this, man. Bivol admitted himself that personally I didn't like that, the real infinite. I didn't like what he was saying. I just felt like because it almost sounded like you admitted defeat, and you fought way too good of a fight to do that. You know what I mean? That's why SOG said this. You should never concede this openly when there's potential for a rematch. Keep that to yourself. Too much talking. Hashtag Art of War. This is when Bivol was talking about his power. He has very strong punches. I felt his right hand through my left. My thumb is swollen because I was holding it to my head. You get what I'm saying? He telling it all. Remo, what's good with it, bro?
What's going on, man? Salute to the voice, man. How you feeling?
What's good with you, family?
Nothing much. I didn't get a chance to really speak on this the whole time because I was out and about. But I seen the chatter that was going on, robbery and all of this other stuff.
Right.
So Aunt sent me the video, and I checked it out the day after when things were more calm and the kids was away and I could actually sit there and watch it. And I tried to score it, and I didn't see robbery first or second time I looked at it. It's just a preference of how you like to watch a fight, like the style.
Right.
You like the boxer, you like the puncher. But what I did notice twice when I watched it, what the factor was for me was that 7th round where it could have went either or way. And the reason I say the 7th round because Bivol was putting them on him, combos and all of that. But for some reason, I don't know if he was bothered by something or he gassed.
Right.
It gave the appearance like he was hurt, but he didn't get hit with anything. So the appearance of how it looked versus the rate slowed down, depending on the style that you enjoy, that one round for me swayed it. So, robbery, no. The fact that these both guys have respect for one another, even after the fight, for everybody else that's not in the sport to say robbery and this at the 4th, at the end of the day, 10, 11, 12, Bivol had to look in the mirror and say, I could have did more.
Right.
But But for us to talk crazy, it's like that dude is punching. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, as fans,
He
we gotta
made it
take
through
it
that.
easy. But, yeah, but he did neutralize a heavy puncher. So the fact that he was able to kind of like make him look different and still fight his same fight that he usually fight, you know, why not run it back, man? If the money is there, run it back. You know,
Tell you what's good.
Just don't let Canelo sneak in the door and you know, try to capitalize off the moment, man.
Right. He already said he ain't got no interest too much in fighting Canelo. And I know Canelo won't fight better be.
yeah. But that's all I had, man. I just didn't get a chance to really chat on it. And then I heard robbery, so I'm not gonna co-sign that. You know what I mean? But it was good to watch though.
Right.
But hold it down, man. I'm here.
Appreciate you. Shout out to you, man. That's what this boxing is about. Show people how to do this the real way. Ain't got to argue with the boxing, man. Build on it. Let people have their opinion, especially when they respect their voices. Shout out to my guy, Dean. What's good with it, bro? Talk to me, man.
Man, my guy Jusdueboxing, man. What's up, Brody? You hear me? The common voice in boxing. Do y'all understand? Like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. You understand?
You know it.
Hey, Just.
Talk to me.
I had this fight real simple, man.
All right.
I think in life we make a lot of things a little more complicated than they had to be. Going into the 10th round, I had Bivol up 1 or 2 rounds. He lost the next 3. There go the fight. Simple as that. It ain't too hard because, and the people that got Bivol, I understand because round 4 and round 5 is definitely swing rounds. I don't see how people was giving Bivol round 3 when all of the judges gave Beterbiev round 3, including myself. I don't know what people was watching in that 3rd round, but whatever. Okay, but that's fine. But round 4 and round 5, definitely swing rounds. Round 6, round 7, gave to Beterbiev. Round 8, round 9, I gave to Bivol. The next 3 rounds, Beterbiev. There go the fight.
Bro said, there you go. Nice and simple. Chop, 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 chop.
It's just nice. It's that easy, man, because at the end of the day, the problem I'm having just is this robbery talk, but the robbery stuff we got to stop. You can't say a close fight is a robbery.
Right.
Y'all know I'm not the biggest Devin Haney fan. I think Lomachenko won, y'all. I felt how y'all felt with Bivol, right? But Justin been following me. Justin heard me talk about this topic before.
Right.
I don't cry for Lomachenko because that 12th round he got destroyed. Simple as that. You went into that 12th round. It was a very close fight, a bunch of swing rounds, and Devin dominated the 12th round, and he was dominating early. There you go. Don't cry in the back, Loma, holding your eyes, feeling like you got that. Did not happen. And I'm not even a Devin fan.
Right.
But I won't let nobody say Lomachenko got robbed by Devin. No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
A robbery. Especially when you give up the 12th round.
The way he gave it up too, just when you had all that momentum going into the 12th round. No, I can't. Listen, I'm not about to feel bad for you. Sorry, can't do it.
Right. Shout out to Dragon Assassin, man.
Dragon, my God.
Just do Dean, Big Supreme, and Ant. You already know, man. Appreciate the support.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well. I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just do.
John's Garage, what it do, man?
But yeah, just I feel as though like everybody that's saying that it should be a rematch, it absolutely should be a rematch. That's when you had a close fight and it was a good fight. Look, the problem I'm having just
10th round, right?
They gave us what we asked for, y'all. Y'all say y'all want the best to fight the best.
Right.
50-50 fights.
You know it. That's what we say.
Ain't that what they tell us just all
That's
the
what
time?
we want. When we get it, we flipping. Robbery. That's why they don't be fighting each other, man. They don't be trying to hear all that. They just want to fight, man. And us to give credit where it's due. That fight was too good, too close to be a robbery. I keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying it. Too competitive to be a robbery. Robberies is obvious screw jobs. You know what a robbery is when you see one. You know
Because
that's not
Stacey
it.
Al and O'Shaquie Foster.
Yeah, that. Shaqie Foster and Conceição. That's one of the closest recent memory, right? Perfect example. That's a job right there, man. They did
That's
a
a
job
job.
on my guy. So nobody got job this time. Like you could debate what you felt like you seen. And I think it come down to preference, even with them judges, bro. I do. I think it just come down to what the preference be. Like fighters be knowing certain coaches and stuff when they fight in certain locations and areas, what those judges in that from over that area typically prefer, whether it's pressure fighter, this or that. And it just come down to that. Like Beterbiev, you know, he fought his ass off, man. He fought his ass. He boxed with a boxer. You get what I'm saying? He boxed with a boxer. That's what he was able to do well to keep himself in the fight, and he never let it get away from him either. And then again, when you know, it's always a plus when you naturally heavy-handed and you got a mule kick for a punch. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. When you got that mule kick, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what, y'all want to know when y'all know a robbery? When you don't hear a content creator, a fan nowhere say that it wasn't.
Right.
Like Robin Stacey Al and O'Shaquie Foster. Hey, can you name me the content creator, the video, the channel that you have seen say that O'Shaquie Foster lost that fight?
Right. I ain't seen one.
I ain't seen. That's when you know
I ain't
it's a
seen one. Not one.
Not one.
But hey, while we on this, because it's always a great conversation. I know I wasn't alone in this Bivol stuff, you know, for what it's worth, because you know, I know this might be like a biased poll, might look like I just was scrolling the internet. I've seen a fairly decent amount of votes, in like 3.9, but you know, see how close it is still though. It's really one of them. You know, 59% for Bivol, man. They thought he won. General Zod pulled it off, though, man. Look at him looking like a stone cold killer. He looked like he ready to take his soul in the picture, bro. Golly. But man, this was fun, man. And what was it? Scorecards,
114, 114, 115, 113, 116, 112.
That's the only discrepancy. This 116, 112. Like 115, 113. Shit, I wouldn't even be mad if you did that across the board, or one for Bivol, 2 for Beterbiev. It's cool either way though, because the fight was good. I ain't crying about a point or two. At the end of the day, he got the nod. He did. It's hard to argue that he didn't do enough, right? You know what I'm saying?
This my biggest problem, y'all, that I'm seeing, and I haven't heard anybody who said Bivol has won this fight. Why y'all not mad at Bivol for losing the last 3 rounds?
My God, yeah, because some people, like, again, in boxing, people oftentimes they put the blame in the wrong areas, and when something like for some people, they pick the guy, right? So that went wrong for them. When something go wrong, somebody gotta be to blame. So who is it? It's like, nah, ain't nothing go wrong. 2 guys went in there, you know, it was 50-50 on paper. We seen what either guy advantages, or we felt like we knew what either guy advantages was, but shit, they both weather storms from each other. I think in some spots, man, you know, to a degree, Bivol gave just as good as he got. Absolutely. Man, he took advantage of a lot of moments catching Beterbiev.
Even better than what he got. Even better.
It was smart, man. I was like, this dude, and he ain't scared. I guess it's just I was so impressed the way he dealt with him as opposed to how other people deal with him too.
Absolutely.
Maybe that had a impact on the way I was overall viewing the fight, because I was looking for stuff, right? And you still was seeing it, but he ain't let it get crazy for him. I always say that. You know what crazy is? Once Beterbiev start to really put him on you, it's like, all right, you start to see the change in the face here. Right? You like, all right, it's getting scary for this guy. But Bivol, poker face, 2 dudes. I seen a quote somewhere. I should have screenshotted it about the way they both had a poker face, and it was just like a chess match with a good enough amount of violence, man. They was fighting back, man. It was everything it was supposed to be to me. I ain't disappointed at all. So I had Bivol up 5-1 to the 6, and gave him 8 and 9. Last 3 rounds were as wide for Arthur, some suggesting, but not mad for people giving it Beterbiev. Right. It's just always a discussion, man. If you feel like you respect the person that, you know, views, hey, you seen something different, I might have seen something different, but I definitely seen a close fight. I seen a close fight that could go either way. And whenever that's the case, I ain't tripping. I'm just glad that we got this. I just wish you see it. Like, again, when you start to see it more often, people don't overreact. I'm going to keep saying it. Watch. You see, as you see it more, we start to know and understand and stop just saying it. Like I say, a lot of these quotes or sayings, we just throw shit out there. That's a 50-50 fight. But we don't really, you get what I'm saying? Take into account what it's going to look like when they get in there.
When it's a 50-50 fight, it's going to be controversial.
Back and forth. You might get a little controversy, but for good reason. And it's all about the word. Don't use robbery. You could say you felt like the other guy pulled it off, and that's cool. But wasn't nobody getting the fight took from them because they had opportunities to, take it and run with it. And the other guy just wasn't willing to let that be the case. And that's what made the fight what it was. That's why we here talking about it some more. And that's what's supposed to happen. I think that's the bigger. It's not as much controversy as what people making it seem. I think they just reacting off the moment because the guy they thought won didn't win. And that's that typical overreaction. After you cool off for a bit, maybe go rewatch it, probably see something different. Shout out to Big Dog.
Now add this to the mix though, Just. Yeah. As far as the guy that they thought won. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we go into fights and we have certain expectations. The prevailing sentiments prior to this fight was if there was a knockout, it was going to be Artur Beterbiev. If it goes 12, decision, it's going to be Bivol.
I was one of them.
I was one of them, and I was one of them, Brody. I said that's what I thought too.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, so then when you see the guy go in there and he actually is boxing, some people are, in my personal opinion, I feel like they're kind of discrediting him, saying that he's just walking forward and throwing punches. But if you really look at how he's positioning himself, just like how frequently he's placing himself to the outside. And then here's the other thing too. I don't feel like he whooped Bivol's ass or nothing like that. But I do feel like he was able to contain him far more than we've seen in other fights. Now, Bivol, he gets a lot of credit for his technical brilliance, and deservedly so, because he's a hell of a boxer, tremendous. But the one thing, if you go look at his fights, whether it be against Joe Smith, against Canelo, there were rounds against Canelo where he threw upwards of 70 punches in a round. He be letting his hands go. He be letting them combinations run. He tried to let one combination run in the 7th round. I want to say it was around the 1 minute and 10 second mark.
And he got caught with that right hand.
He got caught with that right hand on the top of the head and then didn't throw a punch for damn near a minute straight.
You know why? Though,
he was just walking around, just holding his hands up. I understand why.
Thank you, Ed. Can you please tell these
I'm just being silly because he had flashbacks.
He got contained.
He got contained when Joe Smith hit him high on the head.
And I think as fans, here's the other thing that we got to do too. We have to expand our idea or our understanding of what it means to outbox somebody. Outboxing somebody isn't just solely a matter of being on a back foot and throwing a jab. In my personal opinion, it's, can I impose what I want to do on you more than you want to do it to me?
Right.
And I felt like that's where Beterbiev won the fight. I'm not saying it, but here's the difference, Tay. Because even in that sequence, he backed Beterbiev up momentarily, but then Beterbiev stepped right back to him. He never died after that. He didn't stop.
He retreated.
He didn't impede his progress after that. Right. There were moments in that fight where Beterbiev, when he would land a right hand to the body or a little shot around the gloves, where Bivol would just keep his hands home. So if I can take you out of your game plan, if I can limit your output, if you're a guy where you typically throw more than 600, sometimes 700 punches in a fight, and I can limit you to throwing less than that.
Yeah, that's a great point.
You did a hell of a job in itself, regardless of how it done, whether I got to do it through brute strength or like a guy like Shakur Stevenson. I think that's what's so remarkable to me about that damn De Los Santos fight. We've seen him letting his hands go against, again, we've seen De Los Santos letting his hands go against Ryan.
Everybody else.
Everybody against Joseph Adorno. He was beating Earth, Wind, and Fire out of Adorno.
My boy killing me with the Earth, Wind, and Fire.
And Shakur kept him from letting his hands go, letting him run the way that he typically would. I would love to see a rematch too. So it's like I said, I don't feel like Arthur just beat him up and destroyed him, just dispatched him. But yo, there were moments in that fight where he was just not letting them go. And root exposure, I feel like both of their defense was pretty tight because everything that Bivol was throwing wasn't finding a home either. A lot of that stuff was getting caught on the gloves too.
Say that? I'm tired of people acting like Bivol was just in there jabbing the man's head off. He was throwing a lot of stuff that wasn't connected either.
Let me catch this real quick, y'all, before y'all finish cooking. Big Dog Will, we appreciate the support. Back in the super chat. He said Bill Haney on Twitter said that Ryan Garcia is ducking Devin in a rematch, and Garcia punches will earn Devin this time around. If he said that, he just being a dad, man. He just being a promoter. Because ain't no way. They hurt them. Punches going to always be to hurt him. And that style is just going to always be a tough matchup for Devin, but still one that he could win with the right game plan, I think. Shout out to Big Dog Will. We appreciate that.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well. I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just do.
Shout out to you, KBSR in the building. What's good, fam? Nah, we back to a Bivol triple that jab. Yeah, and the jabs, he had an active jab, man. Ant was breaking down some great points, but I feel like on that flip side, him avoiding the same fate as those 20 other guys played a big factor in the way people viewed it too, myself included. Like just not seeing him eventually mauled, broke down. He got hit with some body shots. Man, I forgot. It was a clip where he got hit with one of them body shots. Man, I know it hurt it because you see him drop the arm down. But he weathered these storms where most people buckle and fold, and he continued to fight back. I seen moments where he was hurt, taking them little gallops around the ring. He was trying to circle out, get the air back in him, but then he'll fire something off. Like he never just, let it happen to him like some of these other dudes where eventually Beterbiev just become too much. The pressure just mount up, the punches become too heavy. He could just hurt you, get you out of there. That just never came, and I was thoroughly impressed by that, man. Thoroughly. Man, I know it was hard. 36 minutes trying to deal with that damn bear with gloves. He found a way, man, and he made it look good.
Yeah, I was very impressed with Bivol, y'all. Just his resiliency, man. Just his determination. Just his heart. Like we all watch football games, but Beterbiev won this on a last-second field goal, y'all. Like let's stop acting like it was like, you know what I mean? He won it on a last-second field goal. Okay? He hit the buzzer beater, man. And sometimes that happens, and that's the other factor we got to put in. We got to give Artur Beterbiev a lot of credit, man. I think he the only undisputed champion in the 4-belt era to literally get his 4 belts by beating everybody else. I don't know if that's all the way true or not. Don't quote me on that, but I think he's the only undisputed champion we've had in the 4-belt era where he literally got all of his belts from beating every individual champion. That says a lot, man.
Man, it's impressive.
And here's the other thing, man. I was impressed with both guys for various reasons. For one, I was impressed with Bivol's his toughness, his resolve. And on the other end, I was impressed with Beterbiev's ability to constantly find him. Because again, the preconceived notion going into that fight was that Bivol was just going to dance on him and make him look silly. He was just going to be whiffing that air. That wasn't the case. Now, Bivol had a tight little defense. He was catching stuff on the glove, so on and so forth. But it's not like Beterbiev was just completely out of his depths and he was just bewildered in there. Like the footwork was just so great that he just couldn't get in front of him. Even when Bivol had those moments where he tried to turn, the moment he turned, Arthur was right back on his ass. Like, and credit to Bivol for like you said, there was one right hand he took to the body where I was just like, damn, it's looking like it's about to get a little bit dark.
Right.
And he found a way to hold on, man. So credit to both of those guys for showing other dimensions that we didn't know that they had. Like it took each other for us to see different things in these guys, man.
I just liked his game plan too, man. He was calm, patient. He just he wasn't too tense and scary. He was reacting, responding well to being hit by this damn bear. Like I said, he usually get dudes up out of there. We know the story. We see how early he got Joe Smith up out of there. That's that guy. You know what I'm saying? He just managed to find a way not to allow that to happen, man. Like I said, I tip my hat to him for not just being another KO victim. Shout out to Jay, man. He said it. He was like, man, that 100% KO ratio was going by the wayside tonight. And it did. Big shout out to Lonnie Lee, man, the Cash App for the 25 piece, man. Much love, bro. Said for the building blocks, always.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well. I already been getting these back, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Shout out to my brother Lonnie Lee, man. Appreciate you. GQ. Better be 184. Easy. Shit, it wasn't nothing easy about that fight for neither guy. Sports predictions was good.
You want to know the other thing that I want everybody to understand? You can never say that a fight is a robbery when Bivol face looked how it looked and Artur Beterbiev looked like he didn't have a scratch on him. I've never seen that where a guy face looked like it looks and then you say that he got robbed. I just don't. I don't even know how that can be possible. Like literally. So it's just we asked for these fights, y'all. We asked for them to be 50-50 fights, the best fight, the best. We want to see the best competition. You saw that. That's what it looks like when you're in there with another guy that's not going to quit.
Yeah, that's that one and just as much as you do, and it just come down to somebody probably getting off just a little bit more. You get what I'm saying? Maybe a couple taking advantage of a couple more mistakes than the other guy. It was one of them. That was that tick for tat. In many ways, like they had to figure each other out, man. Yep. I'm telling you, they had to figure each other out, man. Beterbiev was put through some strain Saturday night, man. K Causey, what it do, fam?
Both them guys, man. I want to ask you this question, shit, both of y'all. How do y'all feel about just like the nuances of a round? Because I seen some people saying the 8-4 and so on and so forth. I think sometimes we get a little bit too caught up in how the rounds are divvied up as opposed to the actual, I guess you could say, like the minutia of the round itself. You know what I mean? Because you got some fights, right? Like somebody can get 12 zipped and each round could still be competitive. Right. You feel what I'm saying? Like 12 zip doesn't necessarily mean that it wasn't a competitive fight. It just means that other person did enough within the round to win that round. But them rounds could be hard fought. And then you could have another fight where it could be, let's say, split down the middle, but the rounds were a lot more definitive, a lot more clear, a lot more clean, to where like something dramatic had happened in those rounds. So it's like, how do we reconcile that in our minds as fans? It's like really, really looking at the rounds themselves.
Yeah, a lot of the rounds had though you had to break them down that way because it wasn't. I guess for both guys, it wasn't your typical round for either guy. Like that, I think that's the most either guy been tested like mentally from an IQ standpoint. I think Wills was tested to a degree too, especially Bivol down the stretch of the fight. But I think that's what it played out. That's what it came down to, and nobody really took it, like I said, and ran away with it. That's why when that fight is as close as it could get. Like, do y'all remember any dominant rounds for anybody? Like dominant?
Only round I think was definitive was round 11 for real. That was it for Beterbiev. Like a round where it's not even a question of what's going on. But I'm glad that I really appreciate that question, bro. Yeah, right. That's something that boxing fans just can't get out of their head or get out of their mind, my G's. You can have a fight like prime example. Y'all gonna love this. David Morrell was getting crucified for a fight that he won 11-1, 12-0.
Right.
From exactly what Ant is saying.
Right.
You walk into a round with an expectation. This is boxing. You shouldn't have no This is another professional fighter, sir. He get paid too. Any given Sunday, you know how we say that in football. Remember the Miami Dolphins used to always beat the New England Patriots.
I wanted them Monday.
Y'all remember that, y'all? They was the worst team in the NFL. They'll beat the Patriots. Any given Sunday, any given round.
It's like you can have your expectations, but still understand how to assess the fight when what you expected don't happen. without overreacting. That's what it is. It's like when expectations and reality don't meet.
Talking.
Robbery, man. Nah, he was doing this and that. Beterbiev ain't do this and that. He ain't do that. Nah, man, ain't no them dudes forced each other to fight at times. Well, definitely Beterbiev forcing Bivol to have to really fight at moments, and he had to box. They had to, you know what I mean? They had each other, welcomed each other well into each other's world. You know what I'm saying? He introduced them to that movement, and he introduced Bivol to the pressure. You know what I mean? That pressure style where I'm gonna be in your face for most of the night. You get what I'm saying? So he had to deal with pressure versus that movement, because I don't think nobody could consistently move while being effective offensively against Beterbiev. So he had to be challenged there. I know that was a different challenge. Somebody that's able to actually hit you, be able to get out the way, make some moves defensively where you don't be able to get right off on him like you want to and get right back to it. So he was tested in a number of different ways, man, and he rose to the occasion, man. That's why I say, man, a rematch would be great for them. You know what I mean, great for boxing. There's no way that a rematch is not every bit as good as the first one. Probably better, because I know Bivol, the kind of fighter is, he seemed like he'd try to do even more the next time, right? He don't seem like he'll just be comfortable. And that's what I like about him. I mean, I could be wrong, but he seemed like, to me, he go back in there with another chance. He going to try to do something different, whether it's throw more punches, be a little bit more, active. I don't know. I feel like I got to keep watching this fight. I feel like I want to watch it one more time when I get off of here. I feel like
I ain't mad at that, bro, at all.
I think
it's a lot.
I want to see it again.
I really think it's a lot that both fighters can do better. I tell everybody this, though. Be wary of this, though. And I'm going to say this, and remember, you heard this probably here first. A lot of times in the rematch, the second fight wound up going how the last fight ended.
Right.
I for sure know Beterbiev not going to try to start off slow against Bivol. Because remember, it was a couple times where he had him in that same range early and he just didn't throw it. Right. And I'm like, Beterbiev, like, jump on him, bro. Like jump on him. And he didn't do it. And that was him trying to figure out Bivol. Yup, respect.
He has Bivol, right.
But just I really feel like Bivol in this way, I think Bivol in those little times where Beterbiev is throwing out that little tap jab, he's gonna do more of that aggressive. No, I'm about to throw these combinations more. I'm sorry. I'm going for the gusto. Bivol, whatever conditioning you is doing, my guy, focus just on that the next fight. You need to be able to keep up that pace for 12 rounds to beat this bear. Because if you do that, you win the fight clearly.
More output without getting burned while you're doing
burned.
Gotta find a way to stay in the fire a little longer without getting burned and being effective offensively, man. That's a challenge, man. Because I anticipate he'll be up for it. I think that small little tweak could be the difference in the winning the rounds. Just more efficiency, man. You gotta find a way to be slightly more active than that guy. Could you do it? I mean,
but the end point though, just when you're getting hit in between them shots like that, it's like there's nothing that part of it. It's like you could do it. Go like Bivol, I believe you can do it. But when he hits you with that right, and he become a little more aggressive, just that brute strength, man. Like at times, man, it's a God-given ability, man. It's like going in there with George Foreman. You could try to Evander Holyfield him. But we all know if Evander Holyfield would have tried that on a younger George Foreman, you see what I'm saying? So I just think they both, Bivol just got to go for the gusto. Look, you got to knock me out. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be something, man. So somebody say he get knocked out in a rematch. I don't know. He did damn good this time.
He did damn good.
I'm not sure that he just guaranteed.
Or pick his spots, out. Like Justice saying. Just pick your spots. He gave
Beterbiev something to think about, man. He was testing that chin, man. He hit that block, man. He punched him in his block a few good times, man.
He hurt him, but Bivol hurt him in like I don't know if that was like round 5 or he hurt him in one of them rounds.
I was like, oh, what's this? Ball. And he got them combination punching, man. That rhythm. He was flowing in there, man. I like the rhythm that he fight with, man.
I love the rhythm,
man. So I say he had a great game plan, and that's why maybe I tipped it in his favor as well. Just small things like seeing him execute. Like I felt like that's the way you fight that guy. I seen the moment he was biting down, fighting them, stringing them combinations together, splitting through the guard. Some of them think they both traded, punches on arms and gloves and probably got credit for or some oohs and ahs, especially the heavier puncher. But he was working. Then I seen him moving well in boxing. I was like, yo, he could do this all night. I was like, this looking good. But like I said, Beterbiev did step it up in the most important rounds to a degree. He did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he just once his corner said just go to that box.
Hold on. What y'all think real quick? I gotta ask y'all because we talking this now. Another reason why I don't feel bad saying Beterbiev won this or Bivol won. I know people gonna probably say the corners just be saying stuff. They just be trying to light a fire under.
He said he needed a knockout.
Man, they told Buddy he needed a knockout, man. I don't think you need to put that type of pressure on somebody if you don't need it, man. They must have felt something, man. Maybe just because it wasn't as close as what they had liked it, or
Now, Just, you gonna love my answer to that. This one.
But they did say that. He did say that. What y'all think about that?
His corner, they said that going into the 10th. Mm-hmm. I don't even think his corner thought that he was going to dominate the next 3 rounds like that. Mm-hmm. See, that's the part right there. You feel me? Like, I don't think his corner, I think Beterbiev corner was impressed by Bivol and thought that Bivol was about to keep that up. I think they even questioned their guy a little bit. But Beterbiev showed you, I got the heart of a champion. Not tonight. Not tonight.
Right. Don, what he do? He said they always say that. I mean, who is that? Who that?
Somebody told me Bivol corner said the same thing.
Beterbiev always get knockouts, so they definitely don't always got to say that to him.
True. That's true.
And show me the other fights where you hear Beterbiev corner telling him he gotta knock somebody out. Because that I don't think it's ever been a fight where it was. I ain't gonna say never. Maybe one time. I think it was it Voshtik? That was close before he stopped him late.
Yeah, it was Voshtik. And
he might have had one where it was like close on cars, but he ended up getting a stoppage. Maybe
when the Marcus Brown fight almost got stopped because of the cut.
IBS was good with it.
Yeah, that was just all that blood on his face.
The same thing. Shout out to my guy. Yeah, but so it's always
John Scully says they don't train him for the knockouts, though. That's what he said.
Train with a dude. He said Mark Ramsey told him to make him step on the gas.
But you can tell by the way that Arthur throw his punches that he don't be trying to go for the knockout because it be straight arm punches. He don't be loading up or nothing.
He don't load it. But guess what though?
That's what Bivol was saying. To your credit, and when he was describing the punches, between him and Canelo, I got the clip. I'm gonna play it. But I get you, Big Supreme. But he could have just said, "Yo, I need you to step on the gas." You get what I'm saying? You could just straight say that. That's simple. Yo, I need a knockout, man. Especially in a fight that's going like this. You get me? So I don't know. I mean, it's just it's up for debate, right?
I really think that his corner didn't think his best 3 rounds was about to be the next 3. I truly believe his corner didn't think that. Like, because I was impressed. Be real, yo. And just be real. Them last 3 rounds. We didn't even see that coming the way the fight was going. I didn't see it happening like that.
Yeah, he closed it out super strong.
He closed it out super strong. It was like
that lasting impression really tipped it in his favor for real. But I always say, don't forget about that. I know them last 3 rounds or so might have left the impression, but don't forget about the other 9. You get what I'm saying? Don't forget that it was no knockdowns and every round was scored 10-9 across the board, right? You get what I'm saying? That's all. Just keep that in perspective. Sometimes people be like championship rounds like it's bonus rounds. Like you start getting extra.
No, for sure. But also in those other rounds, though, there were quite a few rounds, just like that 7th one in particular, where and here's the other conversation, man. I was having this conversation with somebody on Twitter about effective punching. because we say clean and effective punching, like catching a guy and they're not able to mitigate some of the force with their gloves or catching it or whatever. You know, just whoever's landing more flush. But the way I look at effective, there's a difference between effectiveness and efficiency. If you look at efficiency, Bivol was more efficient, but then also that's a little bit skewed because he threw less.
Right.
Arthur was more volume, but if you want to talk about effectiveness, like, yo, if I hit you, if you run off a combination and maybe 2 of them get through or 3 of them get through, and then I throw one shot, and that one shot now just shuts down your whole offense for a whole damn minute, and now you just trying to evade me with your hands up. Who's more effective? Or if you throw a couple shots and I never stop coming forward, it doesn't impede my progress. Whose shot was more effective?
Absolutely.
You might have had the cleaner shot, but my shot was clearly more effective because it took you out of your offense.
That's the it's slippery slope. It's tough because you expect it from the guy that's punching, right? His shots, when he get there, they gonna be. And like you said, you made a good point. Cleaner, but versus effective. Like Bivol, great punch placement. He has some very flush, clean shots, but Beterbiev, he ain't gotta have the same accuracy, but he could still do more damage, and the shots gonna just have more of an effect. I think that's what they seen too. And it's always tough, like guys that hit harder versus somebody that just ain't born with the power, and they, you run the risk of losing.
And Justin Ant, remember this too. This is the part we gotta give Beterbiev credit in. If they would have told us before the fight, Beterbiev going to throw way more punches than Bivol, I wouldn't have believed him. Because Bivol is the volume puncher, remember?
That's why I say, man, I definitely.
It was just such a good fight. So many nuances. So many. Just. This is what boxing is, people. This is what we got. What we boxing fans get on my nerves. We got what we asked for.
I'm definitely going back to watch. The junkie and me won't allow nothing else. I have to see. And the more this conversation go, the more I'm definitely going to watch it. And I'm gonna make sure I watch it again close. I need to.
Just do me a favor, bro. Make sure you watch that round 3 in particular over again. Pay close attention to that round 3.
Right.
Round 6, round 7, and round 10. And of course you're gonna watch all the other rounds, but I think, and then round 4 and 5 is swing rounds. I think they was the 2 biggest swing rounds of the night.
Right.
And because remember, y'all, it was times in the broadcast they was like, I know judges hate giving 10-10 rounds, but you might have to.
Yeah, right. That's important too, man. It's crazy, man. I really got to go back.
Why couldn't this be a draw? How about that?
Man, I'm telling you, it was one of them, man. I'm busy, my God. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Y'all make sure y'all smash the like button. Arthur caught a lot of Bivol punches. I think they was both catching punches.
They was both catching punches. Yo, Just, man, I'm about to get out of here, man. Go run to the store and make some content, man.
You already know, bro.
Yo, Ant, I wanted to tell you this in person because I told Just this in private, bro. I think you a thorough one, bro. I appreciate your breakdowns on boxing, my guy. Truly, bro. It's good to build with you, Ant. Real rap, bro.
I greatly appreciate that, man. Sincerely.
Absolutely, y'all. Y'all holla at y'all. Just, you already know what it is, baby.
All right, bro. I appreciate you. All right. He said, Mike Kirkland said, I was hoping for a draw. Dub J said, I was wrong. People gave us the ebb and flow, though, man. It was one of them, right? That's why I say I just try to take the stress out of the conversation by wanting to hear dope perspectives from dope people. And all got to see it the same way. And ain't nobody got to, boxing intelligence got to be insulted. I hate that so much. Oh, what were you watching? You need to watch this again. You need to clean your glasses off. You need to. Nah, bro. Like, y'all, I always use the point that judges be there and be seeing different stuff, especially when you know what I'm saying? They be there. We just seen it. Matter of fact, what was it? Hold on. Let me just pull a little picture up real quick. We just seen it. This is a prime example of what I'm talking about. Yes, this is it right here. Prime example of what I mean. 114, 114, 115, 113. All them 3 different scores. Whether you agree with them or not, them 3 different people. You get what I'm saying? So me and you can't see something different. And they in the same building together. And they like 114. I ain't even mad at that. But 116, 112, a little wider than, 115, 113 is perfect to me. Spot on. But that's a prime example right there. It's okay to see something different, man. Like you're gonna say, well, what was that judge watching? It may be the 116 guy, but still, man, Arthur, and he made a case for himself. He was in the fight the entire time, and he did more damage. And I know that weighs heavily on them judges too. You know what I'm saying? It's the price you pay when you in there with a guy that's punching. That's it. Like when they get to you, it's people see it. It's visible, very. And I think a couple times he really touched him, like you say, he had that little moment. He wasn't throwing no punches. Like that's very visible, and you just had you didn't see no moment like that for Beterbiev. I don't think
There
so.
were actually a couple of those watching the fight, man. There were a couple of those watching the fight where just like Bivol just didn't let his hands go, and understandably so, man, because he didn't want to open up and get countered by something. So I don't take that away from him. But then also, I'm just thinking about the 116, 112, right? Even looking at that, I don't think that suggests that Beterbiev was just out there completely just whooping his ass. Maybe that judge felt like in those rounds that he gave Beterbiev, some of those, he felt like he just did a little bit more in those rounds. It doesn't mean that those rounds weren't competitive.
That's what I think happened.
Bivol was just getting his ass whooped.
Edging rounds.
Yeah, you just edged him and you just got him.
Swinging, doing that much more to just swing it slightly to your favor. And that those fights like that is dope, man. At 116, because of that, dude was saying Eddie Hearn, you know, giving a guy 4 rounds is crazy. 4 rounds is wild, though, especially when you started out. I felt like he started out exceptionally well, too, though. That's why the fight to me was very interesting, because it's like one guy had a strong start, one guy had a stronger finish. And you know that finish just weigh a little bit more heavily because it's the last thing you see. And then again, the importance of championship rounds, even like I said, though, it's still 10-9. You get it. The importance of it is it's always going to tip in the guy's favor, right? It's never good. Like rarely do you see a fight where all championship rounds could be arguably lost and the guy still win the fight. You rarely see that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like usually that be the difference. And that's what the significance of a championship fight is. You got those couple extra rounds that you don't typically have to make the difference. And
exactly,
you doing damage in those rounds as well. Being like your key word, like you said, effective. Then you get what I'm saying? It's kind of easy to tip it in your favor. And that's just the benefit of being Artur Beterbiev. And that's the bad thing if you Dmitry Bivol, just what it is.
And that's the way I looked at it, man. The effectiveness, man. I was just looking at effectiveness. It doesn't mean that Bivol was out there just getting his ass whooped or anything like that. But I just felt like there were several moments in the fight where Beterbiev, he was more capable of containing Bivol than the other way around.
That's a great way to look at that.
That's it. He wasn't out there getting his ass whooped because like I said, his defense was tight. He did enough with his legs. He made smart decisions to where he wasn't just opening up and allowing himself to get clipped by anything stupid or anything like that.
Right.
But you still got to find some moments to where you're able to counter. And Bivol said this himself.
He's queen.
In that interview with Marcos Villegas, he was saying like, yo, when I think about the fight, there were several moments where I could have countered. And I think that's the thing. That's where I kind of edged it to Arthur.
Right.
You know?
Right. And that's why I like to talk to people that, again, I wish the guys that be in here that say you just don't like when people disagree. Like you clearly see a couple people just came up here. We on different sides of the spectrum. Y'all both edging it for Arthur. I'm still over here. Like I still feel like Bivol, but you ain't heard me argue a point yet. When you make that much sense, it's just not worth the arguing. I can see it that way now that you're saying it too. I can see exactly what.
Hey, listen, I could understand why people felt like Bivol won.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think sometimes it's just because I try not to get caught up in this myself too, like with the preconceived notions of like how the fight is supposed to go based on what we know of these guys stylistically. And then sometimes we see them do something else, then we're like, and then again, also just what we consider to be boxing. Because for whatever reason, as fans, a lot of us, we just look at boxing as staying on the outside and fencing.
Right.
When we talk about these other guys, we don't say like, oh, the guy who's applying pressure or the guy who's being assertive, the guy who's being on the front foot. We don't look at these guys as boxers. We call them brawlers and swarmers and all this other stuff.
Making people call him Bivol a runner, saying he was running.
Same thing we see with those Mexican fighters who like to fight, flat-footed Mexicans. Like, nah. Same thing. And conversely, for the people who like pressure, like you just said, they'll say, hey, this guy is running.
Right.
Like, nah, all of this is a part of boxing.
Right.
Sometimes you're in fights where you may have to use your legs a little bit. And other times you're in fights where you might have to step on the gas a little bit and be a little bit more assertive. Sometimes you might have to pick your spots. Right. Like, yo, you just gotta, whatever the other guy is not willing to do, that's what you gotta do.
That's what I was impressed with.
Whatever really the other guy is not willing to do or what he can't do, you gotta be either willing to do it or you gotta take advantage of what he ain't doing.
He was like, yo, I'm gonna take him. Like, I believe the movement was with a purpose too. Like, you gotta think, if you just came off an injury, I'm gonna make you move as much as possible. Yeah, I am. Especially if I got slightly better feet. I got better feet than you.
Test that MCL out. Test it out.
You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna put it to the test. I'm gonna put as much strain on that thing as possible. And I think in spots he did do it and have success. Like I say, he was catching with a lot of those little resets and putting little combinations together, and then he'll get on the good foot, move around a little bit, make him earn it. Real present talk with Tommy. It was good, bro. Couldn't get Bivol a win. No way, no how. Gave him 2 rounds that could have went either way, which made it a draw. To me, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's fair, Tommy. That's all fair. I like to hear. I want to hear what everybody had it as. I want to hear all the different views.
Hey, root exposure. Knocking people out is a part of boxing, though. That's a part of it. Knocking people out is a part of boxing. Staying on the outside and utilizing your jab and your reach and forcing the guy to fight in a way in which it benefits you and it puts him at a disadvantage.
Right.
That's a part of boxing. If the guy can't fight on the inside, taking him to the inside. We just saw it with Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant was fighting against McCumbee. McCumbee had most of his success from the outside mid-range. What did Caleb Plant do? Hey, I'm going to take him to the inside. The guy can't fight as well as me on the inside. I'm going to beat his ass up on the inside.
Right.
That's what boxing is, in my personal opinion. Finding something and exploiting it.
Who the hell y'all seen stand in front of Beterbiev and make it out the fight? Now, I know you didn't expect Bivol, smooth operator as he is, to stand there in front of that damn Wolverine. That man is like Wolverine, bro. I'm not standing in front of him either, bro. And when he was doing it, I was very impressed by it. He picked moments. I seen him splitting the guard, knocking his head back, knocking him off balance a little bit, forcing the resets. And even when he reset on his own, he'd take advantage of it. Thought that was key. The movement, man, testing the knee out. But ultimately, like I said, man, just rounds were just like this, inching back and forth. Like it was no, what I'm saying? It wasn't none of that. It just neither guy wouldn't allow it. And that speaks to the competitive nature of both guys too, because they definitely fought like everything was on the line. That's why I say, man,
but everything
that good, you ain't mad. My bad. Tommy said it was good with it, Mr. McCann.
Oh no, that's all good. Continue making your point. My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Guys.
I'll finish your point. I wasn't trying to interrupt you. I thought you were getting for a second.
People used a lot of angles. I think he did. Better be when he needed to. He tested him.
But everything was on the line. You got to look. We talking about two fellow countrymen fighting for the pride that they have for the sport, elevating them to and their families. Well, I will stay away from families right now because we know the situation is kind of a miss. But for the most part, they're fighting to uphold their country and show that us as countrymen, we're gonna go to put on the best thing. Then you got the fact that the belts are in play. All of the belts are in play. And on top of this, when you step into that ring, you're laying your life on the line because there's a chance that, hell, you saw what Fabio Wardley did to my man Jaw, bro. Like
about that too, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, and we don't know if that was just hey, he trained extra hard, or he trained to get a little extra sauce along with it too. But it's a chance that you take when you take those 3 steps. You know what I'm saying? And everything is on the line. That man was fighting because he knew what he was against, just like Beterbiev knew what he was against. So what you saw was, I think, a misnomer that actually happens, like and just addressed. Knocking people out is absolute boxing, because it takes when it becomes more than happenstance. When you're in the 90% of knocking folks out, that's just not, you don't know, you're just lucky and you're hitting people with a punch or anything like that was misguided or misplaced. That's setting it up from the moment the bell rings until that moment happens. It's how you navigate the ring, how you place this position, this fighter in this position with the feints that you use.
Who you had it, Kello? Who you had winning? Better Bivol. It's one of them. I'm definitely watching it when I get off here. That's my homework for tonight.
It's a whole bunch of things that play in the fact that we had a person who was quote unquote only a power puncher go out there and box with a master class boxer shows that, hey, we often apply things that aren't so because of the aesthetics of the way they look.
Yeah. He went out there and he hung with a master class boxer for sure. And like I said, he brought him into his world in spots and vice versa. That's why it was a good exchange. Their styles meshed very well for each other, because Bivol got enough, to stand and want to fight you and try to deliver something back. He got enough fight back where he ain't just boxing from the outside the whole time. He was taking some chances. Man, he had a couple moments, boy, where he was missing certain punches by just a bit. I was like, man, Bivol was in it. He was confident, though. He was confident. He was focused, man. He was committed to trying to really box and fight in them spots. And I like seeing him do it without getting stopped. You know what I mean? Because I know I seen a body shot. I forget what round. Like I said, I thought it was going to change right there. And typically, when he gets a guy like that, and that was the first time that, to me, in the fight where the poker face it was obviously broken at that point. You could tell, like, you could see that arm drop down. And I'm like, yeah, that one hurt it. But he didn't let it get crazy. Took him a second, and I believe he fired off a combination shortly after it to let you know, like, all right, I'm still here. But it took him a second. He did have a few of those moments, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, where he kind of was put on pause for a second, right? That's what Beterbiev was able to do. He was able to put Beterbiev on pause just a bit. And I think it was what was coming back at him. He had to be smart, you know what I mean? And I think while he was moving, like I said, trying to, he was recovering. He had a good poker face, but he was feeling that. He was feeling them punches in there. He said that dude's strong as hell. He said he's strong. He said he punched hard.
Man, credit to both of them guys, man. Credit to both of them.
Right.
I'm glad we got to see that. The fight was far more technical than a lot of people were expecting. Like I'm pretty sure a lot of people thought it was either going to just be Beterbiev just walking him down and clubbing him upside his head, or it was going to be Bivol just being elusive the entire night and just making him look absolutely foolish. But
that's crazy, man, because shit, man, that was one of them, man. That was one of them fights. I wonder, do a rematch happen? I know I heard Bivol say something about a rematch, but it's also,
he said he would like to do it sooner than later. He said he don't want to wait.
Hell yeah.
Which I agree with.
Smart man. Get right back in there. Test him again. Tell him to run it back one more again, man. That's worth seeing for sure. That's definitely worth seeing. I think that's the best move for both of them. The fight was that good.
Yeah, nah. The fight was good when you got old heads talking about the fight, bro. Inside the dang ring that used to do this thing, talking about how good the fight was, man. Like it's the actual shot in the arm that boxing needs, and the fact that they are willing to run it back is a testament to like the skill set and the respect of the other opponent that they have for one another. And plus, like, Bivol don't want the talking point to be, oh, you waited till he got old to take him out. So nah, I'm not gonna wait. I'm gonna get him right now in this moment. I know he's feeling it because he said himself. He said, man, when this dude hit me, it felt like he took something with me. You know what I'm saying? So the dude recognized that, hey, this dude is a threat. Somebody said, why he didn't use the body, man? Because you put yourself at risk by using that body. But and then again, Josh, you just said he was just narrowly being missed. But you got to also say, yeah, you know, Bivol had some skill in that too, because he knew where the spaces would be where I could be safe to be there, but still not get tagged. So, like, it's a lot that go in play with what you saw in that match. I got to go and see it too, because from what I heard, it was a great match. Whenever you don't know who won the fight, then that means it was an excellent fight.
Every time. Zoom verse, peace, Brody. Rude said trilogy. I swear it looked like one of them fights, but I know for sure he'll definitely have to win the second one. It definitely be pressure on Bivol to have to win the second one. Definitely to get to a trilogy. Man.
So what Dean said was interesting, man, about the continuation of fights.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like sometimes when they find that one thing, like for example, Kovalev Ward comes to mind. Like in the back half of that fight, when Ward started stepping to him,
right?
The second fight was pretty much the way the first fight ended. Like it was like that.
Yeah.
And that was the thing for me when I was looking at Beterbiev. I'm like, shit, he should have went to the body a little bit more, because of those moments when he got Bivol to the body, those legs stopped churning, man.
And that's what was interesting. That's why I give him an exceptional amount of credit, because he had those little moments where he was putting Bivol on pause for a second, because he that strong, he hitting hard, he'd be, you know, but he didn't, you know, go like he typically go. It had to be something he respected about that dude. It had to be, because he was a little more selective than
I thought maybe he was. I didn't really think he was all too selective though, because he threw over 1,000 punches, they say. I think what it was is maybe there was just a slight underestimation of how tough Bivol was. And like you said, his game face, because I mean, a guy throw 1,000 punches, he definitely ain't holding nothing back. I thought the shot selection, he probably thought, all right, I get him to the body, I slow him down a little bit. Now I'm gonna headhunt. And I'm gonna try to clip him and get him the hell up out of here with one of these shots. I think that's probably what they thought. They probably didn't think Bivol was gonna be durable enough. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I didn't have any thoughts that Bivol was gonna fold, but I just didn't know. It was a question mark for me, because it's like I've seen Beterbiev get dropped twice by Jeff Page and by Callum Johnson, and he got up. So I'm like, oh, I know what he looks like in times of adversity. The cut in the middle of the forehead against Marcus Brown, him stopping the fight when they were about to stop the fight because of the bleeding. We know what the hell he looked like in times of adversity. We didn't really see that from Bivol. I think Bivol, he got touched by that one shot to the body by Lyndon Arthur in the 8th round, but Lyndon Arthur didn't really capitalize. I don't really count the Joe Smith because it was at the bell. It's not like he got clipped in the middle of the round and he was on Bambi legs and he had to survive. He got hit in the top of the head at the end of a round, just walked back to his corner, and then he commenced to schooling Joe Smith Jr. So it's like, for me, I didn't know, like, how the hell is he going to react when he gets hit with a big shot? And I think for the most part, to your credit, he showed a hell of a poker face, because you seen he had that damn knot on the top of his head. The eye was looking a little crazy.
Ball he had on his joint, ping pong ball, golf ball on his joint. He did.
The eye was looking a little crazy after the fight, but he thugged it out. But that shot to the body was like very telling. Like, yo, like that one hurt. And I think that maybe Beterbiev thought, like, all right, I hurt him to the body. Now I can go up top and bing, bing, boom. And he just kind of just went away from the body attack. And Bivol, I gotta say this, yo, Bivol hit Beterbiev with a nice little stab to the body that stopped Beterbiev in his tracks. I can't remember what round it was. He hit him with a nice little stab to the body, bro. Nice little stab, slowed him down momentarily.
It was,
but Beterbiev just kept coming forward.
They tested each other, man, for sure.
Both of them dudes is tough.
Yeah,
both of them tough.
For sure. He earned his respect. You can tell the way the fight played out, but he still was him for the most part. But I think maybe not selected, but he had to think more than I think he typically has to think, obviously, because it's a different guy. but he tested him mentally. You know what I mean? And physically in spots too. But I think that was the biggest challenge for him. You know what I mean? Trying to figure out the rhythm and movement of this dude and try to really get a beat on him where you could put hands on him the way you like to put hands on him. And again, I think to his credit, I think I like the way he don't load up. I like the fact that he don't do that. I think it creates openings for bigger shots anyway. So it's kind of smart, you know what I mean? And it's stopping from burning himself, you know what I mean? Burning himself short, just loading up. You seen it happen with Canelo, and that shit went bad for him. Loading up, punching Bivol arms. Dude got some, he could take a punch on the arms, boy, because he took all what Canelo had, and he slowed down, and he took advantage of that. And, you know, Beterbiev obviously showed to be smarter than that, where he picked the big shots. He ain't just in there, everything loaded up. That's what I like about him. Is he's more boxer than brute. You get what I'm saying? He just
happens to be strong.
You know what I'm saying? Happen to be strong, bro. That's just a given for him. Not a brute, bro. He's a very good boxer, and he showed it. You know what I'm saying? And that power is always an ace in the hole. So I think if they would around the same, you know, punching power, say if he was like a Bivol, probably looking at a different fight. But that is able to change moments, and that's a given when you just, you know what I mean? That's the plus side for you. You might not fully have or match him skill for skill everywhere, but again, you can match him enough in areas where you do catch up to him, and that power is significant enough to make up for any difference that you lack in skill. You're gonna make up for it, like I said, when you hit him, and he showed it, man. It was one of them type of fights. Canelo don't want no smoke from Benavidez. No.
And sometimes, man, we just gotta let go of the aesthetics, man. I know how we are, man, folks. We love the aesthetics, and we don't be looking at the little things.
Right.
Like I was with Beterbiev. If you look at the way he positions himself in damn near all of his fights,
right,
he's always circling counterclockwise in them damn closed stance matchups to where he's placing himself just on the outside of the other guy's lead hand, and it's damn near like daring them to like fire the jab. It's like, yeah, I want you to throw certain punches because then now I'm going to be in range to counter you. And he be just doing little subtle things with just how he's positioning himself. It's like his feet, he may not glide around with a lot of grace and all that stuff, but it's where he places himself, where he positions himself, to where you throw something, you got to be mindful, man. And the 7th round, I'm telling you, at the 110 mark, it is the perfect example of that, because usually Bivol's able to just let them hands run from that range. Beterbiev placed himself just close enough to where it's like, as soon as he started open up, bam, one shot came back. We're going to shut that combination shit down right now.
Right.
You're not about to just let your hands run and throw 6-7 punches on me. It's not happening. You're going to have to pick them. It's going to have to be 2 and 3 at a time at the most.
Yeah.
And I'll say this about Bivol, man. I thought Bivol did a great job of, because here's the thing with Arthur with them short shots. Typically, when he get a guy buzzed, he's able to just rain down on him.
Yeah.
I thought that Bivol did a great job of limiting Arthur's combination punches. 1 or 2 might get through there. Yeah. But I'm going to just get my ass off the line, man. Let me just move.
Right.
Let me just get off the line. Right. And then even if you follow me and you start trying to throw another combination, let me get off the line again. And Bivol did a fantastic job with that, with not allowing himself to become overwhelmed. Like maybe 1 or 2 would get through, and then boom, I'm gonna just change the position again. So both them dudes did a fantastic job. Yo, it was a highly, highly, highly technical match from both of them.
Absolutely.
From both of them. It was like it was crazy, man. Just like how technical that match was.
Like you said, surprisingly so. Like I said, yeah, I think credit to both, because I think in large part it was due to the opposition Beterbiev was facing. But to his credit, you know, Bivol kind of forced him, but he was able to keep up with whatever he was on. Like that's how I liked it. He was able to keep up with whatever he was on. Yo, you want to box? Well, I could box with you. And then again, you know, he gonna have those moments where he do make it more physical, and he put the pressure on you, and you got to deal with that. So he was able to, you know, show some versatility more than what people gave him credit for.
Just and Anthony Mazzano said this, man. Where does the notion from boxing pants come from that Dmitry has no power? If that's true, then why don't we see people just walking him down and trying to knock him out? Now, I'm gonna go and say what I saw off of just replay and highlights.
Mm-hmm.
I seen there was times where Bivol hit Beterbiev and Beterbiev went backwards. You don't hit somebody like that and knock him a little off balance if you ain't packing power. And on top of that, it's hard to walk somebody's down that can control real estate the way he does and then uses his jab the way that he does. I mean, and on top of that, can throw combinations off that jab. You're not just walking somebody that's that skilled down like that.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you got them wobbled. To walk somebody down, you got to have everything at a disadvantage for that opponent, where he can just make you miss and still make you pay at the same time.
Mm-hmm. People at 11th Street kills.
Oh, I'll say this, T Hill. This is my thoughts on that. It's like anything else in life, bro. In this day and age, damn near all of our speech is hyperbolic, where it's like either end of the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the caliber of fighters, when it comes to their punching power, I feel like everything should be viewed on the spectrum.
Right.
It's either you're this concussive one-shot knockout punch artist, or you're pillow fisted, and that's just not the case. That's just not the case.
Right.
A guy that got 52% KO ratio clearly isn't feather fisted.
Yeah.
Even if a guy got a 50% KO ratio,
right,
he's clearly not feather fisted at all.
Mm-hmm. Some dudes just not punchers, but that don't mean you could run up. Like, you seen it with Artur Beterbiev. If that was the case, he would have done it, right? Like, you hear that stuff, and I say this all the time. When you be hearing the heavy criticism about punching power, mostly it's heavy with the fans. It's not guys that's getting punched in their face. Every now and then, you'll hear a fighter fall into the trap, pillow fist, this or that. But for the most part, that be the fans talking about who pillow fisted. Nah, man, them punches hurt. Dudes got to be smart. As much as we want to think otherwise, nah, man, ain't nobody trying to run in and just keep getting jabbed over and over. I don't care who doing the jabbing. I don't give a damn. That shit, enough jabs, man. Your nose will be bleeding. Get what I'm saying? Eye be swole, lip be busted. Nah, man, punches hurt. Fact, cuz of facts.
Big facts.
Even at the carnival. Young Devil. But yeah, man.
Even Dev, I don't think Dev is feather fisted. I just think that with some of these guys, man, here's the other thing: commitment, punch placement.
Right. Something like
that's
that.
The other thing too. Technique sometimes. Sometimes it's the technique.
Technique plays a huge part in it.
Ah, hell yeah. And again, just like the punch placement, man. Nah, I wouldn't say Dev is feather fisted. Feather fisted to me is like what's the guy's name? Ashita. I'm still pissed off that my guy James Kirkland got knocked out by him, man. I damn near cried that night. I was ready to pour out a 40 for my guy James Kirkland when he got knocked out by Ashita. Ashita got like 6-7 career KOs, like 40 fights, like 6 KOs, like that's. And I mean, no disrespect to Ashita, but that's kind of like, if there ever was pillow fisted, that would be it. A guy got like six career KOs, like 40 fights, like Paulie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Paulie. Yeah, Paulie comes to mind.
Paulie,
boy,
puncher. Like you could just see it in all of his fights, but shit.
They said you could wet paper towels and have him punch at it. That bad boy, hold up, man. That was cold. I forgot who said that, but somebody said that. I was like, that's cold, bro.
Lips. You stupid. Tevin Farmer, another guy doing, but you know what? I seen him sit down a little bit. It's crazy. You know, somebody else that don't get no credit. People overlook it. That I seen him sit down, especially when he fighting at his weight class. Chris Colbert. I seen him do it. Yeah, facts. Akello, he did 704. Joe Paulie and Tevin Farmer.
I'd agree. And I want to say, and therein lies the difference between skill set too, because Colbert is a person that's fighting beyond his division that he should be, his actual weight class he should be fighting in, and I think Loma is too. But when your skill is great, you can overcome some of the inadequacies that you have with physical prowess by using your skill set and setting people up and staying in and out of the way. Like Ann said, keeping your head off the line, but keeping yourself intact where you can actually score and manipulate some of the fight.
Right.
Cobra don't have it on that level, so when you get up in there and you start fighting some of these dudes, every mistake gets magnified like to the nth degree.
True indeed.
Yeah, I think the other thing is this too, man. Here's the other thing: just being multi-dimensional. Sometimes you ain't got to be the biggest puncher if you got the requisite physicality to fight various styles of fight. So if you're fighting against a guy who's got a little bit more punching power, but let's say you got to be at the end of his punches. You know, to go back to Andre Ward versus Kovalev. Kovalev was the bigger puncher, but Andre Ward was clearly the more physical fighter.
Yeah.
Like he was able to handle him, muscling him up on the inside, beat him up that way.
Yeah, for sure.
So sometimes that can go a long way too, just being strong, being physically strong. And you got some guys that are a combination of both, like Arthur. Like that guy, clearly he's both. He's physically strong and he can punch.
Shout out to Tony. I mean, the thing for morale is going to always be experience. If you can get more experience before taking on a big challenge, it'll always make sense. And the same thing for Benavidez, but I think Benavidez is ready to just do whatever it is that he's going to do for real. Like he got the fights, he getting the experience fight after fight, he fighting the right fights. So I just think it's just a matter of him, you know what I'm saying, and what he want to do. But I would like to see what comes after this, this great fight we just seen, a rematch. It's justified. I mean, it ain't about crying. It's just the fight was that good, right? You got some speculation as to who should have won it. And again, I know I'm not alone. I don't feel crazy. I don't think nobody, I think everybody made great points as to why they seen either guy winning. You seen some fighters, some of the professionals say they felt like Bivol won. You seen some of the professionals as well say Beterbiev got it, man. I got a little conversation from Andre. Who was it? Andre Durrell and Andre Berto.
Andre.
He was talking about it, and they had a good conversation on it too, man. Big Dog Willie, appreciate you, bro. Back in the super chat. So I just found out that pro wrestler isn't real. Now that explains why I took a steel chair over there and did recover like Jake the Snake Robert. I said I had to go to the ER for a concussion. You a fool, bro, man. Not let nobody crack you with no steel chair, Big Dog. We need y'all here, famo. Appreciate you, fam. Always.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well. I already been getting these back, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Big Dog over here trolling me. I had to let him know, dog. Them outcomes be staged, dog. They be scripted. Now I didn't say the action in the ring was fake. I just said that when he bet on the Rock beating Stone Cold, and I said, yeah, that match that you bet on, that Rock hit him with the people's elbow and the rock bottom. Guess what my man did? He kicked out of both of them. I seen my man Macho Man go off the top rope, drop that elbow that he finished everybody off with. Hulk Hogan with that. Hulk Hogan on the last third count. He was almost about to hit the dang ground. He kicked out of it. And the next thing you know, he dropped that whack ass thigh on him, and it was over. I was hot, dog. But anyway, man, go back to boxing.
Somebody just asked BBO was good with it.
Is he BBO today or is he CBO? Because sometimes he be coming on as CBO.
BBO, that's BBO over there. Shout out to Big Dog, man. But don't be letting
Big Dog, my guy.
Go across the head with no steel chest.
Yeah, I don't know why he let somebody hit him with a steel chest.
What it do, my guy? How you feeling? Jersey is in the building. He said Keith Thurman can't punch. That's stupid.
One time.
Yeah, Bivol want that rematch. He want that Smith Oak. He want it. He want that Smith Oak.
But shout out to Bivol for the way he handled the whole ordeal, man. Dude is a true professional no matter what people say.
I got a clip right here from him. I got two little short clips. Let's hear what Bivol had to say after the fight. Rocking the shades.
He put all his energy, all his power on single punch. And yeah, maybe single punch sometimes he's harder, Canelo, than Beterbiev. No way. Because Beterbiev didn't do like Beterbiev was more like close and compact. Compact. Tight guard. But if you ask them, let's do like 5 punches, Beterbiev, every punch will be hard. With Canelo, maybe first hard and then both of them are strong, but Beterbiev is bigger and he born strong.
Hey, man name, because if he said it right, then that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. He said he's 3 born strong. Like that's what he's ever talking about. It's just a given. That man, that's something you got to deal with when you face him. Strong ass, relentless.
Yeah. My bad, Jeff. I meant to come up here and say that before anything, man. I got caught off because of what was said. But happy birthday to my main man, Aunt McQueen. Breakdown Shawty.
Shout out
the loquacious.
my guy.
Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
What's good, Jay?
And ubiquitous one, and also my brother Cass Sports, the box store.
Yes, and happy born day to my other brethren, Cass Sports. I'm glad you said that because you reminded me, and it would have slipped my mind. I would have been weak, man. Shout out.
I was weak, man. I came up here to say that, man.
Go, shawty, it's your birthday. We gonna party like it's your birthday. We gonna sip Bacardi like it's your birthday. And you know we don't give a fucking at the birthday.
The Punjabi remix, huh?
You know, playing the timbales or whatever they was playing over there. Little air timbales.
Shout out to my guy, man. Appreciate you.
I almost forgot it was mine.
Jay, shout out to the big homie in the building, Hardcore Boxing News, man. Bobby Frank been cooking Eddie. That's another thing too, man. Eddie can't escape, man. He can't escape them L's, man. Them things coming in every way, shape, and form, bro. He can't get one. Frank Warren, man. Frank Warren flexing on him 2 times. Like he kicking his ass every time he step in there with one of his fighters getting beat up, or Eddie just can't. Man, the curse, man. It was only one guy to say the only Boots, man. At least you got Boots coming up. At least you got Boots. Boots gonna get you a win.
Shout out to that great brother, Hardcore Boxing News.
Yeah, I know that's the joint. Official everything with it do, my guy. I like keeping
say hardcore.
Yeah, man. Hey, keep one of them guys, man. Shout out to the JVT family.
He one of them guys. I don't know why they be winning with his
battles came outside the ring.
Why they play with his name though? Just why they play with his name like he wasn't that dude.
Play with a dude, fan. How you feeling? Yeah, Keith was that guy. I'm gonna always give him that respect because I still ain't seen nobody beat his ass in the ring. So I don't care how many injuries he got. He could never fight again. My respect for him is gonna remain. I ain't seen nobody go in there and make Keith Thurman look like he should retire and some bum and none of that. That dude really could fight and he's smart. He's smarter than what people give him credit for. And shout out to L-Dub. He said he's gonna be commentating one of the fights coming up. I want to hear that. He's a smart dude.
Tim Zoo joint. The Tim Zoo joint. I'm excited about that, bro.
The Mortazali, I appreciate you. That's what it was.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Ernie, salute. We said Donald fight Saturday, do we? Loquacious and verbose boxer. Yeah, he going to the dictionary. Got me over here.
He said my vernacular is spectacular. He's on his wall clock Frazier right now.
Shout out to Big Supreme. Just letting it be known, dog. Just letting it be known, dog. There's some people who can relate.
They can relate, man. Bivol, like, man, that man, country strong now. He country strong. Look at him. Listen to him describe the power.
Getting his right hand, I was also trying to get it on my.
Oh yeah, your hand is swollen right there. Yeah.
Because he was beating on my hand, and I felt like my hand could go inside of my head, you know, from the.
That's wild. your hand going inside of your head. That's cartoonish. That's what he got, cartoonish power, like Looney Tunes power. Like he hit you, you see the bang, boom, bang, bang, boo, bop, bang. How JB saying it? That's what you see when he hits you. It's like a damn cartoon, bro. But you know I'm the clip king, and I got some more, man. I got another short one from, the ex-wife with the little translation of what she was saying. She was rooting for the ops, y'all.
Артур, да! Потому что карма настигла Бивола. Иди.
Well, hold on. First off, why she saying his name like that? She gotta say it that hard. Look how she came on the joint, bro.
Артур, да! Потому что карма настигла Бивола. Иди к своей Марихе! Я была права! Ну что, ребята? Ну что? Карма настигла своего засранца. Артур, я рада за тебя. Вперед. Теперь мое дело в суде.
Her fight in court, man. She bogus. Artur.
Hey, CJ Rich might be on to something the way she said Artur.
Bro, man, nah, he don't want you. It don't work like that. I'm sorry, sweetie pie. He chilling. You know what I mean? Anybody like that, he's not interested.
No, not my dog,
man,
Arthur.
That's crazy openly rooting for that man like that, though.
That's Artur.
It's unfortunate. I mean, I know you going through stuff. I get that. That ain't my business. That ain't my conversation. But damn, unfortunately,
yeah, she hella petty.
He ain't win now. He ain't win now. Eddie said he ain't win. There's a couple people said it. Eddie, and of course Eddie gonna say it right. Man, shout out to Dr. Boxing Talk. My guy, what's good with it, bro? How you feeling? Say want to wrestle with a bear. What's going on? Yeah, man. I can't believe she rooting for the ops, man. But look, he showed a good account of himself. She talking about her fight in court. I was reading a lot of that stuff. I ain't like the way it sounded. It sounded like it was too focused on money for me. I mean, it's just that it was far too detailed about. She said something. It wasn't about money, and she went on to talk about all the situations, financial. And then I'm like, huh? Yeah, we see what your fight is. That's what she talking about in court. So let her have that. That's they fight, but he fought his ass off, man. You can't really clown him for a loss. Like, it was no loser. As cliche as that may sound. Somebody got defeated. Somebody, definitely had to get their hand raised. Somebody won, but nah, man, it was no losers on the night. Somebody just had to take a loss, right? I mean, it was my guy Dmitry, you know what I'm saying? But he held it down though. Both guys stood on business. Dante's Boxing Talk. Yeah, she's spiteful as hell. She was rooting too hard. Artur. I know she probably put some spit on.
Put the Russian accent on his name, Dmitry and Artur.
No, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. Shout out. What's good with it? Asiatic black man.
What's going on, man?
We got the Asiatic cat man.
My brother from Cleveland.
You said what?
He said his brother from Cleveland. I said, we got the Asiatic cat man in the house.
And shout out to the box story, man. Cash Sports, man. A happy born day again to my guys, man. Salute to y'all. Bivol for president. I'm telling you, we rocking with Bivol. Bivol for the rematch. Hold on, man. We gonna keep going. We got some more, man. So Eddie had to speak on it. Turkey Alice Cheek had to speak on it. He's standing on business. What were your thoughts
as it was unfolding? I think it is at least for Bivol, for the two fighters like my brother, okay? But I think Bivol win more than 2 rounds more. I don't know why the result like this, but in my opinion, I will focus and I will try to do the rematch.
Do the rematch. That's what he said. He's going to focus and try to do the rematch. Both of them, my brother, Big Turk, man. He said he felt like Bivol won by 2 rounds more. So that's basically 7-5. That ain't crazy. That's that's worst case scenario. So I thought so too, though. A lot of people thought Bivol pulled it off, and then there was a lot of people that felt like Beterbiev. It's just not an argument for me. Definitely a good discussion. BVO, what's good with it, man? What you got on it?
Oh, man, I just think because salute to my man Justin. See my Tommy Strong in the house.
Hawk to it. Yeah, definitely Tommy.
I think that's why they saying that, because you used to seeing Arthur beat everybody to death, and when he don't beat somebody to death, all of a sudden now he didn't lost. I don't know. It's crazy, man. He won the fight. He won the championship rounds. He was really trying to take his head off, man. Yeah, but I don't know about no rematch, man. If I was Arthur, I would take my little win, go back to Jersey, man, chill, lay out, man, call it a career, because he's 39 years old. He's not going to be able to be what he was that night. That was a fight of his life, man. I don't think he'd be that. But I don't know. But it was kind of funny hearing Arthur get up there talking about, Bivol get up there talking about, oh, Canelo don't hit as hard as Artur Beterbiev. Get out of here, man. Come on, man. Canelo, one of the hardest punches in boxing, man. Just always got to throw a shot at the king. That's how it always go. Just had to throw a shot at the king.
Keenan better be special buzz kind of strong. Yeah, he got that super strength. You know what I mean? He got that strength. But her rooting for him, man, I ain't surprised. She jumped on it immediately, but that's how he'd be back, though. You know what I mean? A loss like that probably a win you over fans more so than anything. Shout out to my guy Naeem the Dream for the 2-piece. Beautiful fight. Bivol won. Talk to him, man. I'm saying Naeem the only dream that matters. You know what I'm saying? Talk to him. He's my guy said Bivol won, so that's what it is.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well,
right.
well. I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Eddie Hearn was sick, boy. Eddie was sick about this decision, man. Let's hear what he had to say real quick.
Never gone the distance before, the biggest monster in the sport, and we saw one of the purest boxers, one of the most skillful fighters I've ever seen. And I don't want to disrespect Artur Beterbiev and his team, because they're just incredible fighters. But I find it sickening that after a lifetime of hard work, Dmitry Bivol is not undisputed champion tonight. He won that fight. I struggled to find anybody on our road, a row behind, on the TV rows, who didn't score the fight to Dmitry Bivol. To find a judge give that fight 116, 112, and give Dmitry Bivol 4 rounds in that fight, this judge should never work in the sport again.
Strong
Let's
words.
really talk about that, though, Just. How did you feel about that?
The 116 joint was a little wide. It was. Like, dude, CJ was good with it, bro. Dude definitely make you feel like he had a round or two already filled out. But there's no scenario where you could give, I think, Bivol 4 rounds, just 4 rounds. That's crazy for either guy, right? It's far too close. I think the most accurate scores, because I don't think 114 is as crazy, right? Because some people was talking about a draw. There's that aspect in that close fight. And then you got that one where somebody actually edges it with 115, 113. I think that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? You know, I get it. You know what I mean? But I ain't crying too much, because even, you know, Bivol, like I said, I keep it consistent. I always listen to the fighters, how they behave, how they respond after the fight. When they lose, controversial, if you will, close decision, he make it almost sound like he know he lost, in a sense, right? He sounds that way, right? You know, like he ain't all dejected and defeated, but he sound like a guy that, all right, you know, I lost. Now I got to throw more punches next time. When you start, you get what I'm saying? It's the way he's speaking on it makes me feel like, you know, part of him feel like, you get what I'm saying? He lost in a way. So that's what it sounded like. Even Ward had that, you know, that comment where he says you too much talking, like, you know, Art of War, like you're supposed to keep some of that to yourself. And yeah, so I part of me feel like, you know what I mean? It's kind of how Loma admitting that he gave up the 12th round. Him admitting, I should have threw more punches. Maybe this, maybe that. You know what I mean? You start just highlighting your mistakes when maybe you should, you know, and I get it. You know what I mean? He's just being honest, but sometimes you could be too honest. He seemed like one of them. So,
hey, Just, I hear you, and I'm online with everything you said. And I just want to add this to it too. We both know that Tommy Morris, our good brother, of Real Talk with Tommy, Real Prison Stories with Tommy fame. He really does an accurate job of seeing fights the way they play out. Now, he said to you in the comment that he had it a couple of rounds going to that were swing rounds going to Bivol that made it a draw. If you take those swing rounds and you give it and apply it to Beterbiev, then that means it is also looked at as an 8-4 round fight. So I mean, it depends on how you score rounds that are very, very close.
Yeah, that makes sense too. I just don't argue things that make logical sense to me. That makes sense. That's fair. I just think, it's just a matter of how you seen it, right?
And that don't mean that the 8. Oh, my bad. Go ahead. My bad.
No. If you just, how many swing rounds that you have and things like that. That's why I said I'm definitely watching this fight again. Mickey Bay had an 8-4 for Arthur. 8-4. That's why I ain't tripping, but I just don't. I don't see no situation where he only won 4 rounds. That's for me though. Cause
hey man, back that camera up, bro. Back that camera up, dog. Go back to the other side.
Boy, probably won 3. You know what I'm saying?
You wild boy, man.
No, Justin. See, that's what I'm saying. Because even if it was an 8-4 fight, that's just the way somebody saw it. The fight still was close. It was so damn ready.
I just don't feel like nobody doubled the rounds that nobody won.
Yeah. I feel
7-5 either way for me, or a draw, if you will. But I still feel like somebody did enough to win either way. So I'm cool. You know what I mean, I'm cool with the decision. Shit, Bivol made peace with it. I ain't tripping. He ain't tripping, right? The fight was great, 50-50 in every way, shape, or form. Let's see it again.
Now, let me ask this as well too, and I want everybody to respond on that. Given the fact that there were so many close rounds that were swinging that you could edge either way, do you see losing the championship rounds as the determining factor to swing people's vote to a certain way?
Yeah, because it's the last thing you see. And some people got that kind of back in the day thoughts, right? You got the championship rounds. They almost treat it like it's bonus points. I was saying that earlier. So, but I do think it has a big impact because, people they say it ain't how you start, it's how you finish. Same thing applies here. And then, that's the last thing these judges see is you putting in work, especially if you had a strong closing in the championship rounds, which Beterbiev did. So, he made a real strong case for himself. We all know that, like anybody know that in championship. It's unfortunate, but in championship fights, those rounds ain't just the championship rounds for nothing. They count. And like I was saying to Ant earlier, not rarely have you seen somebody lose the championship rounds and still win a 12-round fight. You just don't really see that often. So same would apply here. That's why I'm tripping. There's so much that go into it, and none of it. I don't feel like nobody got, even 116. I ain't tripping on that. You know what I mean? It was going to be either him or him. No draw. I'm cool without it being a draw. I'm cool with somebody having to win and somebody losing. So that's why I say let's see this joint again.
I thought you made a fantastic point earlier too, just about how the championship rounds being extra rounds. Like when you really look at, let's say, a standard fight that's 10 rounds.
Right.
Now you got 11 and 12. So like, let's say if you had a 10-round fight and you had it pretty much split down the fight where it's like 5 and 5, and then you got the one guy who wins the 2 consecutive rounds. That puts him up now 2 rounds. It was split, but the way that this guy finished, it's not so. So I think sometimes people put a little bit too much stock in the whole championship rounds as far as them giving it extra credit. But I'm just looking at it purely from a scoring standpoint, because a lot of people felt like the fight was pretty much even going down the stretch. But if it's even going down the stretch, let's say if you had it 5 and 5, damn near unanimously, people felt like Beterbiev swept the last 2 rounds. So I think that's where the separation comes from, just from a scoring standpoint, just objectively, no extra credit, none of that. Just like, damn, this is so damn close. It's virtually a draw, but then this guy just wins 2 rounds consecutive to just get that last bit of separation. The way I would look at it is almost like in a basketball game. It's close going down the stretch, but then somebody goes on that last little run to just boom, separate themselves.
Man, and that's what that was. I mean, that's how important those rounds was, man. He can't just let that. You can't allow a guy to close that. You got to do, and maybe that's what he was speaking to, having to throw more punches. Yeah, specifically in those rounds and those moments, you can't. I think that's the only significant portion of the fight that kind of got away from him, if you will. At no other point, because it was like, it was really them. I did think he did start kind of strong. I think Beterbiev took a little second. And then once he picked it up, it was what it was, back and forth type of fight. Then he closed it out strong. So if you look at it, that's why I had it as close as I did. You know what I mean? I feel like one guy started strong, one guy closed strong. It had a lot of great action in between that, the start and the finish. You know what I'm saying? The start, the middle, the finish, it was good all the way through. And the significant point for Beterbiev is him getting them championship rounds, I think. Tipping it just a little bit more in his favor. Like, again, you hear a lot of people pointing that out. Teddy Atlas, he's been around boxing way longer than me. He was on point saying it, on the record, should I say, saying it, championship rounds, he lost them. And people feel like he lost them all. I really want to go back and watch it again just so I can see it. You know what I mean? If that's what really happened, I'm going to say it, but I'm going to go back and watch it again for sure.
Oh, no, that's due diligence. Yo, BVO.
Yo, let me say this real quick, man. The moderators, yo, if somebody just state their opinion, please do not time them out, yo. We don't do that over, not just for his opinion. I don't care about nobody's opinion unless they being disrespectful. That's different. If they got their opinion, just let them rock. All right, let's get back to it, man.
Yes, BVO, man. I want
either way. It's back and forth type of, you know what I mean? It's just one of them ones. But look, this ain't the only fight on the card that was good too, man. I mean, well, that was the one though. But we had some other interesting action that took shape on this card too, man. What y'all think about this rematch? Did any of y'all up here caught the first fight between Frazier Clarke and Fabio Wardley? That first one,
yes, sir. The first one was fantastic, bro. I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was going to be more of that because remember in the first fight, Wardley dropped Clarke, but then Clarke had Wardley all busted up. His nose was bleeding profusely. So I thought that it was going to be one of those, but my guy just vaporized him, just got him up out of there.
Right.
I was like, geez Louise, he ain't wasting no time.
And Clip King, it wouldn't be right if I ain't show it because not only did he separated him from his senses, bro. This is good. See that? Like that, I think he has some type of cheek or jaw fracture or something too.
Yeah, his jaw.
He unhinged his jaw, man. God damn.
That's crazy. They see that dent, man. I ain't even sure. I just want y'all to see the injury. Like the punch was wild, but that injury is, man, he spun him around and he was just all point. It's almost he had a Wilder moment. He got spun around. He just lost track of his man, turned back around, got clipped again, and just finished. He got put to bed. He got put to bed, man. That's different. His mouth was like all crooked. That was crazy to see that. That was crazy. And that now you know why. His joint looked like it was definitely dislocated. His face, he couldn't even hold his face right. I was like, damn. Fabio Wardley just, I don't know. I went for it, man. Caught his man. I don't know what it was, man. That dude, he just looked like he wasn't prepared for that moment right there. Caught him early, cold, spun him around. This was a weird moment, a weird exchange. I thought I had that other clip. I'm going to see if I got that longer one. But that looked so weird to me. Like, I just don't know what the hell happened. He spun him around and turned around, lost track of your guy, and then you got cleaned up. Damn near punched. Man, separated that man's jaw from his face. And that's a rematch, Dawn. He did that in a rematch. You would have thought the first one, wasn't as close as what it was, man. It's the only draw on both of their records when they first fought each other. And he was like, man, I'm closing the show. No need for a trilogy.
Ain't gonna be no draws this time around.
Ain't gonna be no trilogies. Damn, I thought I had the longer version in here. Man, yeah, but he got his joints separate. I was like, man, this is brutal. That's definitely gonna take a while. That's gonna take him a minute to bounce back for sure. That's gonna take a little second. He was talking like he was hungry too, man. I know he wanted it, but man, that's one of those weird situations where you just get caught early before you even get to break a sweat. You know what I mean? You know, spun you around, cleaned your clock.
Yo, one of the most impressive things to me was when they said this dude, Fabio Wardley, had no amateur experience. That's when you know you got something that's just gifted to you by God, bro. Where you could just skip being an amateur and just go straight to a pro, and you're literally learning on the job, but you punch so damn hard. That it's an equalizer. You in there with guys who got far more experience than you.
You look like an in-shape, strong street fighter with some skill.
Facts.
That approach. It wasn't just your typical methodical. Like it was like a weird exchange. Like with him, you know, letting them joints go. I just think he was throwing punches that he wasn't ready for, and he spun them. That's why positioning is very important, man. Like that's a bad position to find yourself in. Spun to where you got your back. Then now, there's a question. Now you know, just a conversation. A lot of times when I see a guy get they back turned, the referee kind of interjects, kind of get you to kind of like turn. That never took shape. He was like way off and got to turn around. Referee stayed out of it and let him turn around, and that was his undoing. I wonder what he was thinking in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Well, I wonder was you anticipating a referee tapping you, because that was a weird spot to find yourself in with a guy that's that dangerous on the other end. He ain't looking to be all patient. He looking to hurt you. He seen a moment. He jumped right to it. I was like, damn. He had a Wilder moment, like where he just got spun around and didn't know where his man was at. Couldn't locate his guy. When before he knew it, he was defending his life, man. It was over for him.
Bro, I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't thinking in that moment. Because we got some moments like Wilder. The one that was real scary for me, bro. Remember Charles Martin?
Right.
When he got put on pause, by Luis Ortiz,
by this controller.
Dog, that was scary. Like he got hit so hard. I'm like, what the hell is he looking at? Because he was just staring out into space, just looking out the ring. He got clipped with that left hand, and he was just froze. He was just looking out the ring. It looked like somebody was in the crowd and they called his name.
Man, I'm telling you, he just totally disconnected. And that's what he had. Frazier Clarke had one of them weird moments, man. Fabio, shout out to him. Wish Frazier Clarke a speedy recovery, because that was tough. And I still won't ignore the first fight they gave us. The first fight was a war, so I was really anticipating this one being, like round, 13 or so? You know what I mean? And no. He was like, listen, we getting this out of here, man. Fabio said, I got other things to do. I ain't got time to be sweating and playing with this dude today. Get him up out of here. So shout out to him. Big credit to him, man. That was a crazy win. Crazy knockout, man. Definitely knockout of, the night for sure, man. They almost would have stole the show. Beterbiev and Bivol wasn't that good, but early knockouts is just a part of boxing. It's something that can happen, especially you lose sight of your target or something like that. It's just something. I can't look at Frazier Clarke no differently, and not enough happened for me to like. That's just something that could happen, and like for me being a student, I would want to go watch that moment, try to understand what took shape and why that may have even happened, where you just found yourself that far out of position, where that's defenseless, like you almost walking into a blind punch. You don't know when you turn around, what you got waiting for you.
Right. Oh my Lord.
This dude is unpredictable. He firing, and some people will grant you the grace and let you get your wit. Nah, not him. He was like, no, it was too much animosity between them. He was like,
bro. That moment probably felt like a nightmare. You know how it is, like where you just move in slow motion,
right?
In a dream when you punching or you doing something and you just can't respond. That's probably what that felt like. He got clipped by that shot and he probably saw it coming, but his body just would not cooperate. Like you said, his controller was disconnected. The battery died on that joint. Plug in the USB,
Man,
expeditiously right
man,
now.
I'm telling you, searching for a fresh pack of batteries to pop back in. You can't find them in time, bro. It's
God
over.
damn.
Man, but the way his face was, like after getting hit, just stuck in the corner like that, I was like, wow, man, that's bad, man. I know people, like, I ain't saying feel sorry for him, but damn, that's crazy. That's a crazy injury, man, and that's what you go through. You subject yourself to that type of punishment and injury every time you step in there, and now you know that shot alone looked like it did that damage. That last shot that sat him. Man, the way he turned it and just caught him, and it was, you see that big ass dent in his head? I got it one more time, man. Man, in round one, man, that was crazy. Hey, his joint just was like stuck that way.
Oh my Lord,
man! Salute to him, man. I hope he bounced back for sure, man. Yo, for sure, it sounded like a gunshot.
He gonna lose some weight, bro. He gonna lose some weight. That you gonna be drinking soup for a little minute. It's straight liquid diet when your jaw look like that, bro.
Yeah, he definitely gonna be drinking through the soup, this drinking, talking through the wire. He gonna be getting his Kanye on for a little bit. Jay A. Dixon, what's good, Jay? How you feeling? They made that man go full re. I'm telling you, man, that was bad. Fate was good with it. Absolutely. I agree. 1,000,000%. We won that night. People, Beterbiev definitely got his hand raised, but no losers. When you stand on business the way they both did, that's why I say it's no loser for me. You know what I mean? You win fans over when you fight the way Bivol fought, especially against a monster that's knocking everybody out. Like, those are the type of wins that earn you fans, not losing for you. So, yeah, he took the loss, and, but he'll be right back. He don't go nowhere. I think a rematch makes sense. I think it's a fight he really could win, too.
Absolutely makes sense. And as you stated, man, the biggest thing is the fact that the way he responded afterward lets you know that he fully didn't believe that he won that fight. He feel like he could have done better to make it more certain for him.
Yeah, he was in question. He didn't sound like, nah, man, I ain't get the right decision. He was sounding like they made the right decision. And when, like I said, just keeping it consistent, when I hear a fighter be that honest, I ain't about to be sitting up here huffing and puffing and arguing for you, bro. You sound like you lost and you need to make some corrections. I'm cool with it because that's how you get better. Maybe you made that process a little too fast, man, when you got asked the questions, but I respect it.
Just let me clear that one up. He said it like he wasn't certain that he fully won the fight. Like, it could have been looked at as I lost this fight, like, because it was that close and like I didn't do enough to separate myself. Because I mean, I fully believe he believed in himself, but he knew what he was up in there and how it looked. And then ultimately, how I can only imagine that his face was hurting, man, because it looked like it hurt. So he was probably going through, man, well, I don't know if I'm even looking like a winner, because how Tio looked. Tio won the fight, but Tio looked like he was a puffer fish.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but in his defense, like, all he did was credit the other fighter because, hell, I gave it my all, and I'm not sure I did enough to win the fight. That don't necessarily mean that he didn't win the fight. It's just that for him to be certain, and that's when you're honest with yourself. That's when you're accountable to yourself. When you say, like, you know what, man, hey, credit him because I could have done more. I should have done more to make sure that, I walked out the victor. And I think that's really what he was saying. Like I could have done some things differently that probably would have given me a better chance to walk away with the decision.
Yeah, so honest, man. That's why you gotta love him, man. No complaining, no excuses. Just understanding mistakes was made. Need to do some little things a little differently. Couple tweaks. It's that type of fight. But I know as he try to make adjustments, you got Beterbiev. You got to worry about the adjustments he'll make too. So I see another close fight if they do it again. You know what I mean? I do.
I got mad respect for Bivol. I honestly do, man. That man, he's special. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was in there with a special fighter, and you saw a special fight, man. He took some punishment. He delivered some punishment. He won. He fought. He lost. He won some and he lost some, man. And it was so close that they awarded it to the other fighter. But it was a great fight from all accounts and purposes.
I enjoyed it, man. That's what boxing should be about, them type of matchups. And one last clip on this fight, and we're gonna move to this other fight that we gotta talk about. We can't let him slip about the back door. I know he a new up and coming, but we can't let him slide out the back door without talking about this fight, man. That's Mr. Ben Whittaker. But let me play this little short clip with them. I think speaking on potentially what's next if a rematch didn't happen.
I want to know what the future holds for the winner. If there's no rematch clause, well, Cop, we're going to take you with the final news and notes segment here, because David Benavidez was once thought to be featured on Tank Davis's undercard against Lamont Roach, but it looks like he'll now headline his own card in 2025.
Yeah, Bernardo, big props to Benavidez here, because he was pegged for a fight on an undercard, as you mentioned, against Jesse Hart, who's obviously a fringe contender at this point, nowhere near on Benavidez's level. And Benavidez said, no, I want the David Morrell fight. We've all been waiting for this fight for a couple of years now. And, props to PBC as well, because we've seen fights like this in the past where it gets marinated. They could argue the fight will be bigger in a couple of years. Both the guys are young, but it's happening right now. It's planned for January 25th in Las Vegas. And I think we could see the winner of that fight very easily fight the winner of Beterbiev and Bivol. I caught up with Benavidez this summer. He said he wants the winner. He said he's picking Bivol, but he's not quite sure. And Benavidez is on the cusp of starting right now too. So Benavidez can get a victory over a serious fighter in David Morrell. The winner of Beterbiev Bivol and the winner of Benavidez Morrell is a big time fight for 2025.
Man, I like the sound of that. I really do. Benavidez definitely already was positioning himself to fight the winner. Him taking that Morrell challenge speaks to what kind of fighter he is, man. He hungry. He want to prove it, and he want to prove it now. I like it. But damn, shout out to Sean. Sean Zartel. I seen a little post where he said Benavidez stops him. And I wonder, stops Beterbiev, and I don't think it's too far stretched, far fetched. Should I say to say that? I don't know, man. I seen vulnerabilities. I seen the dude's getting older. He is human. I seen that. I see, the youth and the style of a Benavidez being able to test him for sure. Whether or not he'll stop him, I don't know if I'll bet on him being stopped, but I don't think it's crazy to feel like that, man. I could kind of see that simply because I feel like, them fights are going to get tougher for him from this point on. I don't think the Wolverine is human. He's still a Wolverine, but he's very human, man. I think the right test, the right push, right style, I don't know. We might could see some more chinks in the armor. I don't know, but he a tough out for anybody. Just put it that way, you know what I mean? But Benavidez, tricky, man. Stylistically, he could be a headache, yo. Throw them punches, rapid fire, heavy jab, good body puncher, slow down the old vet that's looking to knock your head off. PJ's big dog was good. No, it's a good fight. I know that for sure. It's a good fight.
Anything is possible, man. Anything is possible. The one thing I got to give David Benavidez credit for is that he continues to add to his game, even if it's incremental. You may not see him improving in leaps and bounds, but all that stuff adds up. Right. And especially with time being on his side, man, him being 27,
right?
Every fight we seen just a little bit more from him. Some people they want to discount what he did in the Vozick fight because the expectation was that he was going to stop the older man simply because he was younger and fresher and moving up to 175. He should be replenished,
right?
But Vozick is a tough customer. He is a tough customer. He's only been stopped once. He's got a wealth of amateur experience as a professional. He's got a quality professional experience. But I got to say this about David Benavidez, man. Just head movement looked good. I liked his punch placement. I think the only thing that at 175 he may have to continue to work on is his pacing. That was probably the second time we've seen him look a little bit exhausted. Because I got to say this. That fight with what's my guy's name? Ronald Gravel, the first one. He looked a little bit exhausted in that one. Got dropped by a damn jab just coming forward.
Yeah.
And he didn't get hit with nothing crazy, but he just looked tired and fight.
Right.
Arthur, the other thing I say about Artur Beterbiev is Arthur is one of those guys where he's continually looking to get better as a boxer. If you hear any of his interviews, he continues to say the same thing. I just want to be good boxer. How do you feel about being undisputed? I want to be good boxer. How do you feel about being unified? I want to be good boxer. And we're seeing that with him. Like you made the perfect point, Just. Like he wasn't going in there just trying to load up and blast him up out of there. Yo, I'm gonna touch him a little bit. I'm not gonna throw anything too crazy. I'm gonna just try to manage this. And that's what we saw the other night. It felt like he was managing the fight more so than just trying to be on a flat out seek and destroy mission.
Right. He's smart dude, man. Smart dude, patient. I don't think people
just have to be strong.
Think that's inevitable. He's gonna get older, and each fight he get in there, he runs that risk. But I don't think he'll overdo it. He don't look like a guy that's gonna overdo it, but he looked like he got a little while left. Obviously, got some more tread on that tire. He ain't done just yet. So entertaining guy, man. Is the knockout not coming a reflection of, you know, probably a combination of things, but you know, sometimes people look at that as, are you slowing down a bit? You know what I mean? Because it ain't the power. Maybe it's just ramping it up. But he still threw a bunch of punches, right? He outworked this guy, so I don't know. Maybe I think it was a skill of the dude more so. I think it's just about anybody else. He probably would have did what he probably normally do. You know what I'm saying? So great fight, man. Rolly was good. Junto stops NUS. Shit. You could get to that too in a second, but a fight that was worth, you know, speaking on, I think, on this. I mean, Chris Eubank went out there and did his thing, but that was expected. But this Ben Whittaker fight surprised me, man. To be honest, you know, from the little bit that I've seen him, I think I've seen him fight 2 times outside of this. He looked flat. He looked like he was getting touched. He looked like Buddy was bothering him a little bit. Whether or not he was going to lose is in question, man. But it was his most competitive fight to date. I think that was the most I've seen him be hit. Like, and all that, you know, he's known to be flashy, and, you know, people be looking for that or when that's going to catch up to you. I don't know if this is a glimpse into the future or what's to come for this dude. Like, because, again, it's hard to maintain that as you move up in level naturally. So, this weird exchange and these dudes tussle and they go out the ring, man. Let me pull it up.
See, sometimes it's hard to get out of a pattern of a fight. You've got to try and break that pattern.
Boy, he reared up and fired, and Whittaker stood there and took it.
Far too easy to hit here, Whittaker. Good, great work on Cameron here, though.
Boy, we're learning a lot about Whittaker here, and it's not good stuff that we're being educated about. He's getting hit by a much slower fighter.
Whoa.
And wait a minute! They've gone Royal Rumble WWE style.
Like, you know, Buddy spoke about that. He felt like he was looking for a way out because he was getting touched. He was getting touched. Yeah, talk to me.
Hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, man. You start getting hands put on you, you got to turn it into Royal Rumble real quick. Let's go over the top rope, bro. You ain't about to keep piecing me up.
Yeah.
I think with Ben Whittaker, I think he's got to get back to just doing the things, at least as he elevates his level of competition. I think he's got to get back to doing the things that made him an Olympic silver medalist. So it's not like the guy can't box. He don't got pedigree. I just think that sometimes, man, you having your way as a professional with these guys who, let's just be frank, you know, they're just not on your level. So you can style on them and have your way and do all that cute stuff. But eventually there's guys that, listen, man, that stuff just ain't gonna fly. And you're gonna have to be serious. You're gonna have to buckle down.
Did he pull a Montana, y'all? I was gonna ask that. He took that right out of my head. I was about to ask that next. Did he pull a Montana Love? Or did dude really, you know what I mean? Was he looking for a way out, or that just was freak fall out the ring type deal? I mean, them is some big boys, man. They some light heavies, ain't they? Some big boys, man. Yeah, nah, he looked flat to me. He looked flat. His performance, he just didn't have that same spring about him, or his reflexes just didn't look as sharp. Now, I would love to know if any of that had to do with, I don't know, training camp. Did you overtrain? What was it? You know what I'm saying? What led to that? Did you have a bad weight cut? Anything like that? What led to that? Because he definitely looked flat and he didn't have that same spring. His reflexes didn't look nowhere near where they usually are. And this is the bad part, though. That's okay to happen if you were actually stepping it up in competition. I don't think you were necessarily doing that here. This dude was much slower than you were, obviously, and he was catching you with these shots, and I don't really know why. So, like I said, his condition, he just didn't look good. He looked very lethargic, as they say. Like, right? Go through the motions, all those things come to mind. He just wasn't able to be Ben Whittaker. It didn't look good.
That's a reasonable question, though, Just. That's a reasonable question because I had watched one of the pre-fight interviews, and he was talking like he was about to make it look easy. Like, yeah, I'm about to just beat this guy and then just go back to my hotel room and play my PS5. That's literally what he said in the pre-fight interview. And he stepped in the ring. I feel like his performance kind of reflected that. Like he thought it was going to just be another cakewalk. Like this guy wasn't going to show up to fight.
There you go. That's all. So yeah, man. I mean, look, I ain't gonna write him off. It's a draw on the record now. Buddy felt like he was looking for a way out. I'm not surprised he said that. In some ways, it looked a little Montana Love-ish, but and the reason why you feel like that because it just ironically this moment presents itself when the fight was as tough as it looked for you. Like you was getting, but I don't know if to call him a quitter. I see that's going online. Online is harsh. They calling him a quitter. I don't know if to say he's a quitter just yet, bro. I don't know if I want to call him that. I gotta. It's one of them things where I just want to watch him closely, see how he respond. Then that'll tell you a lot about him. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Because I don't think he was so in so much danger that he had to find a way out. And who the hell wants to be fake hurt? So gotta see. And I don't think it was his momentum. It looked like it was Buddy's momentum that kind of, because it was his back to the rope. Dude was pushing forward. I don't think he grabbed him and snatched him over. If he did that, then that's obvious. Like if you snatched him over, but it looked like his momentum naturally carried. Now maybe people feel like you could have did more to avoid falling, but I don't know. It's just one of them freak situations. It's weird. But dude got back up. So dude got back up. He was ready to go. So I don't know. It's tricky, man. It's tricky. Ben opponent confidence having fighting like never before. I'm telling you. He was hitting him. He was hitting Ben Whittaker more than I've seen him hitting a couple times I watched him so far. And that's not a good sign because, like I said, it's not like you stepped it up in competition. That wasn't no step up fight for you. It was more of a, all right, keep, developmental fight still. Like to me, it wasn't no step up, and it looked like one, and that's not good. So I would like to know, like, what the hell was the issue? Was it a bad night? So I think I'll get my answers and maybe another.
Do you think that there's a way in between? Do you think that there's a little bit in between just to where maybe there was a little bit of underestimation or possibly whoever did the matchmaking, they didn't have their scouting report all the way together?
Yeah, true. Some of both. Somebody didn't do their homework.
That can be the case sometimes, man, where you looking at this guy like he's supposed to just be this soft touch, but
right,
this dude could fight better than expected. Case in point, we just saw with Teofimo Lopez and Steve Claggett.
Right.
People hear the name Steve Claggett, he's 38-7. You think he's about to just get blown out of the water, then you come to find out like, nah, this dude can fight.
Come to fight, right.
Yeah.
True.
Not only is he coming to fight, he can fight. He's actually pretty damn good on the inside. He's crafty in his own right.
And throw a lot of punches. Good volume, so he's going to test you.
He may not have that extra oomph to get the job done, but he's certain, like you just said, bro. He gonna test you in ways that are unexpected. You thinking it's about to be a cakewalk? That is not the case.
So you make a great point. I think that did have a lot to do with it. And look, you can't say we exaggerate, and we basing it off how you was talking, and then maybe your approach as well as how you was talking, the way you spoke bled into how you performed and how you approached the fight. You didn't take the guy serious enough. And again, you did look flat for one reason or another. So, just for reasons that maybe I can't explain from the outside looking in, I could guess, but y'all had moments, you know what I mean? Fighters had moments where you just don't look good, right? And you had yours, but I want to know why. I want to know if this is something to come. Like, is this a peek into the future? What's in store for you? Like, did the rest of boxing catch up? I always look at it like that. Is people catching up to this stuff or what? You just have an off night. So we're going to see. We'll find out. Hopefully, whatever's going on with I always think it's a part of me, maybe just part of my ignorance, but I always be feeling like people exaggerate when it comes to an injury a little bit anyway. But I can't say because I do hear that the mat and all that stuff is hard. The way he fell, you wait, it's awkward. Weight on top of yourself. So it's like, I don't even want to go there. So I don't feel like that dude was the kind of opponent that you need a way out. I think it's a little bit different than Montana Love, where Montana Love was in there with somebody that was on his ass. As you continue to see that Liam Parrott was still a good name and a champion at this point. So, but that guy wasn't the case. So I kind of got to look at it like that too. You would be foolish to do that. Find your way out that early in the fight with somebody that is not a step up fight that shouldn't present, but maybe it wasn't your night. Is what people are thinking.
Yeah, could have not been his night. They could have misread the situation. And here's another thing that I was thinking about in terms of his level of focus. I remember reading a minute ago that this dude Ben Whittaker, he was diagnosed with ADHD at 9 years old, because they was asking him, like, why does he do all that stuff in the ring? And he was saying that, essentially he's got a short attention span. So I wonder how that plays into his preparation.
Yeah, that's not good. Not in boxing. Not in boxing, where you need to focus for 3-minute periods at a time. And you talking about having a short attention span. Because he definitely, he definitely looked flat. He looked like a guy that just was already fatigued for some reason. He just looked heavy and lethargic. Like his body wasn't reacting and responding. I would like to. I ain't go listen to no interviews. I don't even know if he did any, but I'm gonna go search for some, see if he spoke on it at all. But aside from the flipping out the ring, that's what it is. But he definitely looked different. He looked off. R. Stokes, what it do, my guy?
There's one of the interviews right there for anybody who wants to check it out. But he talked about it in there. He talked about it, and this was last year, 2023. So this is not like it was like some convenient excuse, but it's like well documented. He spoke about his struggles with ADHD, and I believe he was diagnosed at like 9 years old or something like that. So that's the other thing to what you said about his preparation. I'm thinking like maybe that could come into play. And to your point, that's definitely not where you want to be in boxing, because all it takes is one split second. We just seen with Frazier Clarke, you have one lapse, you get hit with a shot, and you know what I mean? Like, whew, that's all it takes.
Shit, real, man. Real, man.
Boxing is volatile in that regard. All it takes is one.
Right, man. So they feel like it got exposed, but I always try to reserve judgment, because I wait to see the fighters establish patterns before I start to write them off, right? We need to see if now what was taking place in this fight, is that going to happen regularly? Are people going to be able to hit you with ease now? Or you know what I mean? Now you just don't look like the superior athlete all of a sudden. I'm going to wait to see. I'm going to reserve some judgment, man. I know off nights happen. I don't want to over speculate his injury or what it was, but we'll see. Like I said, man, he's confident as they come, man. At least he talk it, so he gotta bounce back from this one. You already know they ain't leaving him no room for error because of the cocky kind of swag. But I don't mind it. I ain't mad at him. I don't
Me
feel
neither,
like
man.
Good for him or none of that. It's cool. It's unfortunate.
Sometimes, bro, we complain when the fighters are too damn bland, and then when they're just too boisterous, then we complain about that. It's just let these guys display whatever type of personality is that they want to display, so long as that they're coming to fight and they're putting forth their best effort. You know what I mean? That's all you could ask for a fighter, regardless of where they fall on the spectrum of personality. I'll also like to say this to your point about giving him the benefit of the doubt. I agree with you. My stance on exposure has always been this: being exposed isn't necessarily a bad thing, because for me, I don't look at it as like this absolute obstruction. I look at it as an opportunity. So like, let's say you get exposed in some regard, so long as you're willing to be honest with your own evaluation, now you can move forward. So whatever the hell you weren't doing in this camp that yielded that type of performance, now you can be like, all right, I can't be doing X, Y, Z. Not at this level. I got to make sure I'm not leaving any stone unturned. I got to make sure, like you see what the homie said down there, wine and dine. If it was whining and dining and dames, I can't be out here drinking wine, eating what I want to eat, doing what I want to do. Like, there's just certain things that I got to do, because at the baseline, that's what these guys at this level are doing.
Right.
This is how guys are preparing themselves, just like at the bare minimum. So let's just see, like you said, bro, let's see what he does moving forward. And hopefully, if there was something that needed to be rectified, he brings correction to it, and then it shows up in the next fight, because that's where these fights really are won, man, in training camp. And
right.
Personally, I love seeing fighters bring correction to certain things, man. Hey, Shakur has struggles cutting the ring off. Within a week, we see him in the gym with Bud working on cutting the ring off. I love seeing that. And let's see if it carries over to the next fight.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. Or the next time he, the situation present itself, and he's put in a situation where it's necessary for him to do so. Let's see if he do it. You know what I mean? Let's see if he can actually do the shit that you worked on and make it work in the actual fight when you need it. You're not gonna get bad mind up. To be real though, I just think it's one of them crazy things with sports, right? It's just unfortunate that as guys are taking L's, but another little clip I wanted to play because it was something from Turkey Al-Sheikh, little short clip that ruffled some feathers a little bit. And speaking about getting lined up, he's feeling like, people feeling like you go over there to Riyadh season or you fighting on these cards. People that we thinking the best ain't really the best, and that's what we finding out. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I don't know, man. I think what it is we're getting the matchups. That's what people got to take into account. Don't pay attention to the losses. I know it looked lopsided on one side, but it's really the matchups, and I think that the record is a result of what happens when you get in good matchups, good fights. Like, they go either way, and we just being taught over again that boxing is the theater of the unexpected. You could go in thinking this and see something totally different. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing fights play out where they really go either way. That's all it is. It just looked lopsided to Eddie, but he'll get back.
Yup. And then here's the other thing too. All it takes is just that one moment, that split second, to be able to take advantage of something, to exploit something.
Right.
Because sometimes with these fighters, man, these things be there all along. Like, it just be like a small little tendency that they have that most guys, they didn't have the requisite attributes and application to take advantage of.
Right.
But then there's that one guy where he does, and it doesn't necessarily mean that one guy is better overall. He just found that one area that he could exploit, and he happened to do so. You know what I'm saying?
Texas and
it's like that sometimes, man. And again, volatility. Sometimes all it takes is that one shot, and then now the guy is reeling. We just saw it with AJ and Dubois a couple weeks ago. If you look at both of them, just like on paper, I would assume that the consensus from a technical standpoint is that AJ is the more well-rounded technician all the way around.
Right.
But Daniel Dubois, he managed to got to him first, and AJ never recovered, and he closed the show. It just be like that sometimes, man. It's not always the better man don't always win. Let's put it that way.
Right. Hey man, that's what I'm telling you.
And then
Shout out
sometimes
to
it's the other thing too. The margins don't be as great as we think that they are
yeah.
either.
That's what I think we seeing. That's what we seeing.
The
It ain't so
margins
much.
don't
You get what I'm
bridge the
saying?
gap.
Yeah. Need to rethink these levels of separation that we putting in between one fighter to the next, because it's not as wide as we think. And here go this quick clip from Turkey, man. This is the clip that he has some
What
things
Riyadh
to say.
season do with the big promoter and big fighters, show us who's the real fighters and who's, in the last year we changed the map, and there is a lot of fighters we will miss them, because it's clear they are not like what we thought in boxing, and because we are doing the big fight, and this is important, and this is the big exam for them. This is what we want. We want the big fight and see who's really best fighters ever in each division.
Brilliant.
And you know what? It's a couple different ways, like just hearing it over again. And I've heard it for a couple times now, but I don't think he's trying to say it the way people taking it. He's saying like it ain't what we thought it was. Like, not that the fighters are not who we think they are in terms of like they're not quality, but you get what I'm saying? We picking these winners and it's not what we think it is. So that's what we seeing, and we're gonna find out who the best fighters are with that type of matchmaking. Now, he ain't putting it the way I'm putting it, but I think that's the gist of what he's saying at the end of the day. We're gonna find out. These matchups allow us to find out who was who. And I don't think that's a diss to the fighters. It's just people be really looking for something to be mad about. But I think, his approach is a little different because of what he used to. I said this before. I think Paulie and a couple other people echoed the same sentiments. Like, it's just what he used to. So it's a little rough approach. You heard Canelo saying he don't like the way he do this or do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's understood. But I think ultimately, meanwhile, it's good matchups taking place. They're 50-50 matchups, fights that go either way. And that's what's happening. They're going either way. And then
Right.
some of them just ain't been the way that the majority has been running with. And that just goes to show that the majority can be wrong too. Yes. We're very wrong.
But the volatility, just it's like that margin for error is so slim at this level where like all it takes is for one guy to get to the other guy first. And it doesn't necessarily mean that the guy who got isn't the goods because he got. Sometimes it just happens that way, bro. Like, it just happens that way. You get hit with a shot, you don't recover, and the other guy is finishing. But let's say if it was the other way around, the same could happen, man. Like, boxing is volatile in that regard. We're literally talking about a sport where a guy's ability to apply himself can be compromised in an instant. You get hit with a shot on the temple and your legs go, it just is what it is.
Yeah, now you can't move. You can't get out of it. Your body ain't responding.
Your body ain't responding. It don't mean that you don't got the skills, but you can't apply the skills when you've been compromised. Like, the shit just happens like that.
Right.
Oscar De La Hoya, hell of a fighter. We saw him get hit with a damn liver shot by B-Hop.
You're right.
And this guy is a dude who's been in there with JCC, Pernell Whittaker, Shane Mosley, Floyd Mayweather. You can't tell me that this dude is not the ultimate competitor, because he got hit with a body shot and his legs just ain't respond.
Yeah,
that's just a defense mechanism for the human body. Like, yo, we trying to save us here. Like, please don't get up. We can't take no more of that. The mind is willing, but the flesh might get weak sometimes, bro. And it just is what it is. You get hit with a shot.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
It is what it is.
They go.
The legs go, they go. Yo, we heard Joe Smith say in the interview that he didn't even feel that shot that Artur Beterbiev hit him with. He got hit with a shot. His legs just went. That was it.
Yeah.
He wanted to keep fighting mentally, but that was just it.
Yeah. Your body was like, hey, bro, that's a little different than what we've been getting hit with. We're gonna have to park it. We're gonna have to chill out. We're gonna have to sit this one out.
Exactly. We need safety.
The ref had to just save him from himself, because he was just like up, just like, which way did he go? I'm like, yo, man, that's how you know the dude got some different power when he land flush. And
bro.
I think he's a unique guy. The fact that he don't sit up there and
We
load
just
up.
saw with Frazier Clarke. To your point earlier, he got hit with a shot and he froze. You think he wanted to freeze? Hell no.
Nah.
But he
wanted
got
to be
hit with
standing
that
right
shot.
there in harm's way, like, or out of position, turning around, lost track of his man. Then you just bang. Next thing you know, you're like, oh, where's coming from? Then he come with a wild one over the top. Bang, you out of there.
It just be like that sometimes. And here's the thing: Frazier Clarke is the guy who's got more experience. He's got more pedigree. Fabio Wardley is the guy who has no amateur experience, no amateur background.
That's the crazy part.
10 fights into his pro career. You know what I'm saying? And you got the other guy who got more experience, but all it takes, bro, is that shot sometimes.
Right.
It's just like that, man.
Right.
It just likes that. And then here's the other thing, too, when it comes to preparation. A lot of times we like to say that people are making excuses, but sometimes guys they accrue injuries in training that change the way that preparation goes.
Right.
Let's say you get a damn rib injury, now you can't run the way you need to. So that now your condition ain't up to par. Or a guy like Chad Dawson, you get put with a shot in sparring by Edison Miranda, and now you're a little concussed going into the fight on top of cutting weight.
Right.
So then now your punch resistance is compromised.
Yeah. We don't take none of that into account, and we call everything
no, we
an excuse. Nah, that's reality, and that's part of the shit that they go through. That's why they be telling us, y'all don't know what we go through. First thing, we always find excuses when they tell us something is wrong. We call it an excuse. Oh, well, he should have pulled out. Nah, man, these people got to eat. And they ain't just in a position where you could just afford to just be pulling out. That could be the difference in between getting another opportunity. You having to fight through the injury. And that's the nature of the business. You might have to suck it up and say, hey, man, I'm just going to have to get an ugly win. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
The next opportunity.
Yep. Because then let's say this. Let's say they do pull out of a fight. Now we're going to be questioning their intention. We're going to be saying, oh, this guy, he was scared. He was shook. He was trying to duck.
Really
or in Artur Beterbiev's case, people like, oh, he's pulling out of fights. It's suspect. He must be cycling. He must be on something.
Yeah. You see? So you can't win.
You can't pull out because then people got their questions, people got their reservations, people got their hangups. I think Shelton also just made a great fight too, man. Guys are being matched with fighters that they don't know. That's a perfect point too, man. It's like that sometimes, man. And I want to say, I can't remember who the hell it was. I think it might have been DeFair Smith. He was on YSM. Shout out to Mill from YSM. And Smith made a great point. He's like, you look at some of these guys on TV, and they don't look like nothing crazy.
Right.
Lottie B made the same point. You look at some of these guys on TV, it don't look like nothing crazy. And then you get in there with them, you're like, damn, this is a lot different than what I expected.
Right.
A lot different. Like, this guy is a lot closer to me than I anticipated. I thought I was going to be able to just maneuver around this guy, but I don't want to just let something go because I don't want to get clipped by something. This guy can't punch. So things change.
Right. That's a great point, though, Sheldon, for sure. Man, and again, I'm just rooting for boxing to continue to give us more 50-50 type of affairs, more of those matchups that make sense. Give us that number one versus the number two dude or the top best two champions in any weight class and put them in the ring, and whatever happens. But I think when the fight happens, boxing is better for it. That's the example. People need to follow suit. People giving us the number 1 and 2 guys or the top 2 guys in any one division is great for boxing. So they keep giving us that, I'll be satisfied. Anthony Yard back this weekend with an unnamed opponent. Yeah, getting his shake back fight. Or should I say shake back? Hold on. What was his last fight? Beterbiev?
His last fight was in January, if I'm not mistaken, against Cam Smith.
Oh, Smith. Did I miss his last?
Yeah, that was in January.
I gotta look that up too, man. I might be slipping on that one. Might be a little slow to that, but overall, man,
he fought this year.
Yeah, I gotta look. I'm tripping a little bit there. I might have forgot something. So overall, yeah, I think Saturday, man, was a good night, man. We seen some good action, man. We seen the fight good enough, worthy enough for a rematch. I ain't mad at the winner nor the guy that took the L, man. They're gonna do it again. I'm with it. If not, I know we got David and David coming up next, and I know the potential of one of them even possibly challenging Bivol is crazy, whether it's for the titles or not. You know what I mean? I think any of those matchups are good. And let's see, man. Let's see what they got for us, man. It is a good night of fights. I ain't mad at it at all. At all, man.
Yep.
Solid, man. But shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Y'all smash the like button, man. Shout out to my good brethren and McQueen coming up here to build with me on this good Monday, man. I just had to
Thank
get
you for having me. Appreciate you.
Recap on the fights. I appreciate y'all building with me, man. Yeah, man. I think that's a missed opportunity, Keller, for him. And that's why I said it's unfortunate, because the opportunity to make money, be seen, stay active, all the stuff that's good for a fighter. You get what I'm saying? Okay, if the matchup wasn't the craziest, that's also good for you. It was just so many things that make it a missed opportunity.
I thought it was a good matchup, though, Jess. I thought it was a good matchup, man. I thought it was a good matchup. We got to stop throwing these guys away.
That's
After one L, it's not like Cordina was a bum. We ain't talking about some dude that's just some random ass dude. We talking about a former champion who actually made defenses,
right?
Not some dude that just won some vacant belt and then got his shit took off the rip.
That's what I'm
this
saying.
is a dude who's a champion.
People don't never context is important in boxing. Without it, we just have narratives. You get what I'm saying? That don't really you get what I'm saying, make the sport any better. Context helps the conversation, man, make sense, man. You get what I'm saying? So shout out to my guy, though. I know he'll bounce back. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be reaching out because I'm gonna try to get him back up here. But y'all make sure y'all smash that like button, sub to the channel if y'all haven't. Make sure you turn your notifications on. Y'all stay tuned, man. I should be having Keith back on here to build with him again tomorrow, so that should be fun. Always shout out to them. Great win, great first round knockout, man. That was crazy knockout too. Impressive, man. I'll be looking to build with him tomorrow. But shout out to Ant, man. Make sure you enjoy the rest of your good born day too, bro.
Oh man, I'm gonna get me another glass of wine and I'm probably gonna watch some boxing or something.
Oh, you know it. Junkie's on the way. I gotta go watch this fight over, and it's another fight I got in my notes that I need to watch. But I appreciate you coming through, man. As always.
Man, I appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, always, man. Y'all know it, man. We'll be back tomorrow, y'all. Y'all already know the build.
Appreciate all these people in the chat too, man. I always appreciate these guys, all of them, because I feel like, yo, this is one of the best chats around, because everybody always, in my personal opinion, they say something that's pertinent. You know what I mean? Something that's relevant, something that makes sense. So it's like, even if you disagree, it's like, damn, that's a good point. I hadn't quite thought of it like that, man. Especially guys like Gertz, Akello, you know what I'm saying? Real Infinite. Yo, shout out to my guy, Don't Mess with Texas.
Yeah, man.
It's like, yo, this is one of the best chats around, for real. It's like, even when cats disagree, it's difficult to say that we're not in here building with one another.
Right. See, that's how I give it up, man. That's how I want people to enjoy the conversation, not be stressing like, man, this mother just do, man. Let's enjoy. Let's build on the boxing, man. All opinions is welcome, no matter how different the perspective. We appreciate it over here. Dr. DJ, shout out to you, bro. Appreciate you. I'm busy. The rest of the game, man. Much love to y'all. Y'all make sure y'all enjoy the rest of this good Monday. And we'll see all y'all tomorrow at 4. Much love to y'all. And we are out. Shout out to the fam.
Yo, you know the deal. We back again. We never slacking. Word 'em up. Ladies and guys, whether if you drunk or you high, it's time to pay respects to the illest man alive. If you think you got a point, he'll shrink you down to size. And from there it's downhill like a slinky or a slide. Open your eyes, got a deep connection with the rise, so you might see them jump in whenever they go live. Peep it, this channel blowing up now, it's not a secret. With tons of exclusive interviews to listen to. Them other channels I hate, but yo, they missing clues. They start narratives, sip the goose and twist the truth. It don't take a rocket scientist to get the proof. Just click the live live at 4 p.m. Eastern time. But when you chime in, make sure you keep it kind. But if cowards want to debate, then it's feasting time. My man Just Do shine, busy all the time. Grind 24/7, 365. Videos he might have 365. My rhyme's sick, they make you do a 365. You get a rich if you think you fit to survive. It's Just Do Boxing, time to click the live. Ain't no beginners, if you soft, you ain't down to ride. I crush you, respect too, it's Just Do. He got the illest boxing show on the internet. The boy been a threat and he ain't even had dinner yet. Word him up. Yeah. You know what time it is. $4 p.m. Eastern. Click the link.
What's going on? And one of my favorite channels, if y'all into that pugilistic perfection, if y'all into that boxing, that's that boy Just Do Boxing here on YouTube. Make sure y'all check out Just Do Boxing, the only unbiased boxing channel on YouTube, because I am